Ladies and gents, welcome back to the EGL Open Series, week number 9, the penultimate one, only 2 more to go. And of course, we have our finals, which we eventually announced. Apologies for the wait, but of course, towards the end of March, we will be having that whole weekend tournament to crown the Kings of Europe at this moment in time, even though we've got a pretty good idea of who that is, Toby, because they've won quite a few in a row, of course. But at this moment in time, Toby, once again, thank you very much for joining me. Fru is fully committed to the playing career now. That's it. That's it. He's going. You've never committed like that, mate. What's going on? I thought you were the better of the lot of them. Oh yeah. Oh, you're muted. You're muted. You're muted. Apparently, Toby.
I was
We'll
saying,
get
Chris,
that.
I am actually committed to the competitive career. I was in a tournament on Wednesday, actually, and I got third place, I'll have you know, which I'm sure you just heard, but I'll repeat myself for the viewers again. But yeah, today's going to be an exciting one. It's the last week before the big finale, right? And there's been a lot of roster changes, actually, for this last penultimate week. I'm excited to get into this one.
Yeah, it should be an interesting one. Let's have a look at the bracket to see how things are broken down so far. Of course, we are just coming in at the quarter-finals. I know how much you all loved waiting around for us to get ready. Nonetheless, here, though, we do have all of our quarter-finals filled. And the team to watch this week, Toby, for me, yeah, I mean, of course, let's just cover all bases here to say that some teams have obviously picked up organizations. Highly rated is, of course, Apollo 24, and Team XENEX is Breaker & Co. But on the other side of things, Maradona and Pele, no, they have not gained a Brazilian football player who, well, basically played against farmers the majority of his career, but that's another conversation for another day. Let's just talk about who they have picked up. And of course, Crimson's coming in that lineup on Maradona, which does make things highly interesting for me, Toby.
Yeah, there are a number of teams here with roster changes. First and foremost, Team XENEX is Breaker's team, right? And we'll be seeing them first, I believe. But yeah, Maradona and Pele, I love that team name. That's incredible. What a pickup they've got in the form of Crimsons. And I think that was kind of rumored for quite a while, Chris. We were alluding to it a little bit last week about that potentially happening and something in the HPJC camp in particular really shaking up. And it's finally happened right in this very last week. I wasn't sure if it was going to occur after the kind of the break between when that started going around. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, a roster, my goodness me, and a half. We have Crazed and TJ, formerly of Savage Camping. They've linked up with Phelpsy and Hydron, which left me thinking, where on earth is Jackfex? I thought of anyone, it would have been perhaps Phelpsy who would relax a little bit and not play as much as the other guys. But no, Jackfex isn't playing this week. So curious to see what he's been up to and whether he has any plans to try and look for teammates himself.
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation, of course, to see what that roster does do. Obviously, at this moment in time, this might just be a case of trialing things out, seeing who was around on the Sunday. It could be a case of that, I suppose. But nonetheless, I think that the most notable one out of that is seeing Crimsons on that Maradona roster may just bring that little bit of stability that we would like to see to them. Obviously, having Pains alongside him as well is never a bad thing to have. Of course, Maradona seen themselves in a grand final last week, but going up against a highly rated, as we're going to now call them, it's always a tough task. So let's see if they can, in the weeks to come, start to push them. They've only got 2 more weeks to do it on the open side of things. Of course, then we will go into the final, which is where really everyone's sort of been leading and charging towards. But we've got a while before we do potentially see that game. Coming up first, I do believe we were going to go into Team XENEX against their pickup team by the sounds of things. So let's see how they're going to do, but it does actually sound like the game is ready to go here, Toby, so flying straight into Foundation.
There you go. Looking forward to this one, actually, Chris. Team XENEX didn't have the greatest performance. I think it was last week, right? Was it or the week before? I
think they didn't make top 8, did they?
Yeah,
yeah,
right, exactly, right, and very unfortunate, of course. Some inconsistencies there in different weeks. I think it's safe to say for Breakers team, different roster changes throughout this entire split. But now they're against a pickup team, as you said. Literally called Pickup, by the way, the roster. I'll read it out to everyone at home now. Vision, P-Vision, Banged, Zenji, and Warrior Guns, right?
It's not a bad roster.
Very stacked Pickup. And we saw how Zenji was doing previously with his classic pickup. I think Warrior Guns, Chidwick, and one other. My mind is going blank right now who the fourth is, but that was an incredible time, and they almost beat Maradona, right? They took it to the final round, last map. So to be able to see this game first up on the quarterfinal on the stream today, Really excited for this one, and I am curious, will we see another upset?
Will we see another upset? That's something we're going to find out very shortly. Something else I'd like to find out. Let's go on the chair, Toby. I hadn't seen it till now. We'll have a conversation about this before.
I knew you'd bring it up.
Of course I'm going to bring it up because it's me. There's rumors going around in the EGL talk that it looks a little bit like a bus seat. Do you have a Reba where you are?
That's true, actually. That's actually true. I've only just noticed that when I look at the camera. Listen, mate, it's still a dining room chair. I've had a bit of an upgrade, but at least it's not got a wooden back, right? And that's why I wanted it for. My back. My back has been in pieces this week, Chris. Let me tell you, not been happy with it at all. And so I've actually switched out for another dining room chair, and I'm actually considering buying a nice proper office chair to help my back. And yeah, I'll keep you apprised as to the situation, Chris, on that front.
Thanks, mate. Keep me up to date if you can. We'll start a GoFundMe, get you a chair. Oh, dear. Oh, it's my favourite pastime, just observing Toby Campbell's chairs and setup. Anyway, besides the point, we are here to talk about Gears of War. Hopefully we'll be getting into the game in a second. It is going to be Foundation. And it should be an interesting one nonetheless. Of course, the new teams annex, I'll be wanting to go in there and sort of with this new organisation go on and do well. Of course, as mentioned, though, the team they're going up against is, yes, it may well be a Pickupp, but it is no less of a strong team and the other opposition, of course. So it should be interesting which way it goes, but we will be keeping an eye on some of the other quarterfinals as well. Let me know in the chat who you're looking out for this week. I think for me, it has to be, I'm really keen to see how Maradona do, because now that HPJC kind of just don't exist anymore, we need to find that challenger who can potentially go on to be highly rated, which is something I would like to happen before the finals, just to give us a little something to talk about, or even just the finals. Just give me a glimmer of hope. Not that I dislike anybody on highly rated by any sense of the imagination. I just want to see them get beat so we can sort of talk about it a little bit. I don't like these invincible teams, Toby. I never ever have.
No, I think I was just describing them actually to a bunch of friends that we've got essentially an optic of Europe right now who are just dominating everyone, and no one seems to be close to them. HPJC could have been likened to Envy back in the day, close, always getting the final, but never really scratching them in the end. Yeah, I mean, this is just their dominant period coming off the rated R performances that we saw in the Pro League, right, and the Major. I expect them to continue with such dominance, but yeah, the question is who's going to be the new number 2, and will that number 2 get a little bit closer to beating them?
Yep. And I think, with the change with Crimson's coming in, we'll maybe see something a little bit closer, but I'm not going to expect too much in week number 1 from them. I don't know how much the practice has come in, but nonetheless, we will get to see that game later on, we presume, as both teams are on the opposite side of the bracket. We expect that to realistically probably be the final, but stranger things have happened. Nonetheless, we're into this one. The Team XENEX, their first foray into the stream in a couple of weeks. Those things not going too well for them last week by any stretch of the imagination. Of course, dropping out before we even got to broadcasting, and it's really not something you would expect out of this squad, who every single time we've seen them have performed relatively well.
Yeah, exactly. I think the question for a lot of teams on this day actually is just how much preparation and how are you going to perform in time ready for the big finals next week. That's the true goal now. A lot of the seeding is somewhat locked into place as we've gone through literally 8 weeks, and this is the final one. Today is really the ultimate testing ground as to your teams. Lots of roster changes has occurred, and there's so much pressure on the line due to how close that big event is. Only literally 7 days away, or 6 days away now.
Sure, now Warrior Guns. Find one. We'll go down though as Breaker wins the fight. B will be locked in. We do have another week of the standard Open Series next weekend as well.
2 weeks. Yeah, excuse me.
2 weeks, man. Don't worry, I know you're keen. Anyway, this is looking like a round for Team XENEX. Just grinding this one out. Pickupp. We have another bash at this one. Another good push. 25 seconds or so. Zaki and Kola just setting up here. It's going to come down to probably the fight in the middle here. Vision's going to need help. Zul making the push forward. He's just going to get cut to shreds, and very well played. Bang comes in to help. Saki is there to put some pain down. Now Pickupp can try and make this push, and Vision with a good shot onto Parrot. The problem is they need to capture, and they need to capture quickly. Breaker's going to fall as well. It's the fight over towards C where things maybe get a little bit more interesting now. They've left B. And it's a fully fledged attack over towards C now as well. Banged with the movement. Saki just trying to slow them down, waiting for the rest of the team to come up and off respawn. Vision's going to go down, and that's going to make things a hell of a lot more difficult. Banged now. Can't butt walk his way to that one, and all of a sudden, Team XENEX 1-0, but it took a ground out round there, Toby.
Yep, for sure. Some great shotgunning actually from Vision on the tee. That certainly putting Team XENEX through their paces in the shotgun department for sure. I remember scrimming against XENEX actually on this map previously with Zenji and co, and we found that Team XENEX, when they got set up and they were able to use their lancers and keep distance, they were incredible. Really, really tough team to beat. But if you can do really well against them in the initials and really set the pace of the game to your pushes, your plays, then you can have a lot more success in this map for sure against them.
XENEX now making the push through the middle. Smoked down. A little bit of a different battle here. Nobody able to get any pressure over towards B, and it's just this little standoff that we sometimes do have at the beginning of Foundation.
Yeah. Morrigan's coming down the middle with Bang to see if he can get a nice angle. Oh, Zul's come out of nowhere, been taken down immediately. Breaker in a little bit of trouble now. His team almost getting triple capped here. Big 1v1. Zenji holds his shot. Perfectly done. Great composure in the triple cap. Oh, almost coming in. Broken for just a second over at the B hill, courtesy of Para. Now, the last team fight on the home hill. Zenji gets one, and the triple cap comes on through. That's 1-1 on the board. And I think a great point to mention, actually, Chris, at this point, is the triple cap sound. We don't have it at the moment, right? Since the update, it doesn't play a sound, but be mindful of the top left, folks at home, when a triple cap is occurring. Yeah, it's best to pay attention to that, and us casters alike.
Yeah, that's gonna screw me over at some point this evening. There is no doubt, absolutely no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, you don't.
I'm definitely gonna forget about that. Yeah, there's a lot of in-game sounds not working.
Yeah, you don't realize how good something is until it's gone, and this is a really good example.
Was
this
supposed to happen? Is it a glitch?
I don't know. It's a glitch. I think it wasn't supposed to happen for sure. But yeah. Sense. I know the North American casters have been dealing with it for quite a few nights now, actually, with Emergence Days in Pro League. But no, we'll have to keep a close eye on the top left as things do go on and with a high energy and action that Gears is known for.
How did they deal with it in North America? Did they deal with it all right?
I think they have to just stare at top left and get used to it. But then, of course, they've been scrimming control or having control tournaments as of recent as well, which has been quite fun.
I had a little look. I haven't seen much gameplay from it, but current gameplay on your screens, though, well played by Zul. It's just about keep his team in the round here, as B is all they have a hold of. But maybe it's something that can be talked about further down the line, of course, control. It's sort of akin to Hardpoint, isn't it? Is that the vibe I'm getting?
Yeah, yeah, a lot of people have been comparing it to Hardpoint, for sure. This is a good shotgun battle going down here. Azul's got a lot of damage on Vision, but he's not able to get the kill. He needs to be able to push this rapidly before all of the teammates do come back in return, because he's not going to get much help. Now it's going to be a 3v1. When you're that far into the enemy's half and stuck in a 1v, you have to take the opportunity, otherwise you will get teamed on eventually.
See now, going to go over towards Pickupp. Currently, Team XENEX not getting anything in the board, although that was only momentary. See now locked in. A on its way as well, and it's the old push over towards B. Coming out from Team XENEX. Yes, one win condition of 60 seconds. They don't really need it, but well, Zenji will make Sarkster not need his head anymore as it's been taken off his shoulders. Shots there once again. Breaker now going to make the push as well. Sort of needs to make something happen here. He's actually managed to find one, and the fire coming in on the other side of things. Really well played by XENEX. They are going to lose out on A, of course, as that was the home hill of Pickupp, but now pressure still on over here. Team XENEX still with that win condition, albeit the score is tight.
Oh, nice pinch as well. Vision will be dropped. triple cap should come on, bar a miracle. C-Bang actually does keep his team in it, finding Zool. Forcing XENEX to back all the way back, and they do actually have a nice little points lead here. Not a huge amount of time for Pickupp to deal with, but they have got the B-Hill break, and they can move on from here. Oh, Bang has to be so careful here. Potential 2v1, but he does find that kill. Very important indeed. Warrior Guns has got the pinch top table as well, and suddenly Team XENEX are starting to crumble. B-Hill has been capped. 2 players remain there, but only Vision can try and contest. Does flash off Zool. Zool holds his shot, does it perfectly, does find Vision. And now only 1 hill needed for XENEX to close out this round.
Looking good here, although you say that Zenji finds 1, but that will be all he finds. There's 3 seconds, now lock in for Team XENEX, and they will find a second round. 2-1 now.
Yeah, great.
Good for the money there. I mean, just find themselves in a good position, finding that lead, and all of a sudden you're in a good spot to hold it on a 1 cap, but well covered in the middle nonetheless. Let's start seeing some utility probably coming to the fray in a second as well.
Yep. Expect to see these upgraded. Both teams probably talking about strats right now, using this
Where's the
opportunity to do
noise?
so.
Where's the noise, Toby?
Noises.
Silence.
Yeah. You know what I've said already? I said that this is a conspiracy theory of TC just taking out the sounds of escalation to convince pros to test out control. That's my hypothesis. Although I know that not to be true, but it would be a really cool story if so. We know the pros and a lot of competitive players didn't test Gridiron out that much when it was new, which I was really disappointed about. So you'd love to see them give control the time and day that it really deserves. And I think it deserves a lot. There's so much potential there, Chris. We'll definitely be talking about a lot of that.
You know what I'm like with new game modes, mate. I'm all for it. Escalation, it needs something alongside it, I think. It really does. Nonetheless, though, XENEX are having a good time on escalation right now to push over towards B, though, coming from Pickupp. I have to be careful not to be pinched here, but it looks as if they have a pinch of their own. As Zenji, looking like he is the last one around to be able to do something for Pickupp, and we'll get enough done there. Shot's going to come on through. Saki's the only one to answer back. Isn't quite able to get those shots down.
Yep, good job, Zenji. A good start for Pickupp here with the 2 cap. Saki just lurking over at the statue, looking for his potential next target in a 1v situation, perhaps. But will find himself middle. Wonder if C-Bang's aware here. He's got his Lancer out, yeah. No, I don't think he has a clue. Oh, shotgun's out. Maybe he is that. There we go. I think he knows now. The question is, will Saki actually go for this? He's holding this corner really closely to see if any opportunity presents itself. There we go. Finally gives it up. And it's not a place you can sit for too long unless full confidence in your teammates to back you up that you're not going to get angled out. This is nice from Team XENEX.
Yep. Just trying to find a route through. Really, they'll pick up. Looking good to hold on, but that was only momentary. Now Zenji and Warrior are going to go down. Chase is on over towards C as well. Warrior Guns has to back on down. Para's going to drop him very, very quickly if he lands any bullets, but nonetheless, they will force them away. It's another extension coming in from Pickupp over towards A. Will lose C, and ultimately it is kind of Team XENEX who commands out on top of that one, I should say. And Vision's going to get dealt with in the middle as well, and all of a sudden XENEX are in a nice spot to make this round theirs. 1-win condition is there. 50 seconds or so. Good shots by Warrior Guns before he's decimated, or actually on the other side of things, it's massive from Warrior Guns. Eventually is going to go down. Para now making his way back to his own spawn, where A being the only thing that Pickupp have left to hold on to. XENEX will make that push back. They should be able to keep a hold of B. They should be able to have the numbers there in a second. Win condition will be with... I think it's going to be with XENEX. It will be. 30 seconds.
Here we go. Pressure time. Pickupp keep having these close rounds in terms of points. Now they just need to be able to finalize that last play and make the round come through. It looks like they are 3 members down. Breaker lost alive just off spawn as well is Zool. There's Breaker on the other extension though. Great kill on Banged. He will get the break as well, buying some time for his team. 10 seconds to go for Pickupp to win off 1. And they certainly can at this point with just B.
He has to wait. Nah, may have had time. Well, would have been difficult. Very well played by Pickupp. To make it last just about long enough. If I'm Breaker there, I know hindsight is 2020. Maybe wait a little bit. Just give it a second. You've got one push and one push only.
Give it a second, literally a second, perhaps.
Yeah.
Just to like maybe buy yourself a little like that. Use that second basically to bait a shot, perhaps even. Just a little 1 second, and then that might help. But yeah, very tight nonetheless, especially in that moment.
I mean, hindsight is a wonderful thing. Also, and it didn't work out, but still one of those situations.
Nonetheless, though, Chris, 2-2 at the half. Very close rounds, each of them pretty much. Great job from Pickupp so far. I know Team XENEX really do like Foundation. It's one of their strongest maps, actually. So they're doing a great job here on the COG team, and I'm looking forward to see how they play this in the middle in the second half.
Shot's going to go down from this side up with Parrot. And it should be dead to rights, really, and is. So don't think he managed to get the cleanups there either. XENEX ultimately will be in trouble because of that initial fight as well. And now Parrot can make this push. Vision can really do with winning this fight. If I'm honest with you, he's going to go down. D being captured, domination ticking on through, and 3, 2, and 1. It's looking like it's going to solidify its way in, although not quite. It's the fight over towards E, where it was momentarily. You see, this is not right. This is not right. This is not right. Why does this not work? I mean, the suggestions from the chat that maybe we just need to start making noises, but you kind of need the noises. Like, in our ears as well.
We just need a button to like just tap on our keyboard when a triple caps is coming in and turn it off.
That Matt could definitely sort something out. He said no. I tried.
We tried. So on that note, we'll have to start making sounds ourselves. One of us casting while the other is just going boop, boop. Won't be me though.
It sounds like the bus that you're on reversing.
Exactly. Thrown under the bus.
Indeed. Yes. Well, into the start of this round, it's looking like Pickupp are going to be the ones to kick things off a little bit better. Also, a little bit more utility on offer now, but XENEX, if they can solidify this round in, we'll be in a good spot to close out the map. Still early on, though. But those initial fights really did go the way of Pickupp, and you're seeing that map control in the top right corner. Angle will help his teammate up. We'll need to solidify that one on the right. They can start to make the push, but XENEX now in the spot to try and counter-attack.
Ooh, a little bit of trouble here. Seabang's so red, he won't be able to get off this H. They can simply go wide. Will his team help him out, though? I wonder if XENEX or someone else is behind him here. Nice from Saki, rolls back, keeping his distance, finding Banged. Meanwhile, Vision has his own fight on Statue here. Excellent play from him. Brilliant job. Playing for that back A and that Statue. Breaker full red as well. A potential kill here for Pickupp once more. But Breaker, excellent shot there on Vision to catch him out. And there come the reinforcements from XENEX as well. Well played from both teams here.
Shots from Zuo going to start making the push now. Do something here, XENEX. Just need to lock this one in. XENEX will be fairly punished for the brawl. It's a win condition going to go over towards XENEX. Although it's not massively in their favor, has to be said. The decap here are there for 5 to 10 seconds, and all of a sudden, we're in a different spot. But XENEX happy to hold on tight here. Looks like a push through the middle of the map. Going to come through from the Pickupp side. Which way are they going to go?
Well, 40 seconds pretty much now for Pickupp to stop this deadlock and make a play. Ooh. A little bit of trouble. Warrior has got backup though. Power's gone a little bit too wide there. Didn't necessarily need to play for that unless Breaker was making sure he was pushing up close as well. Breaker full red. Warrior Guns can simply go wide. He's missed his shot though, and Breaker has been the complete opposite. Hitting 2 amazing bricks there. And now, Pickupp on the verge of winning this round potentially. Lovely kill from Vision. Banged as well, picking up one elsewhere. It's going to be close.
Oh, it's just just over at the Swarm side. Warrior Guns needs to win this fight and decimate Saki. Anything going on at E? Not going to happen. Over towards D. Pickup actually there as well. This should be around over towards Pickup. It will be 3-3. It was a big win over towards the E Hill, I believe. F Hill, I should say.
Yeah,
massive win.
Big fights that. And literally, they've swapped rounds every single time now since the very start of this game. Back and forth we go between the two teams, and it's only map 1. On a very strong map for Team XENEX here. This is really good from Pickupp so far. Really good.
Nothing too interesting.
Curious to see actually, Chris. We see a lot of home hill setups from Team XENEX. They've been known to go for that a number of times. They might work a little bit better actually against a team like Pickupp. You know, a Pickupp team, right? Who aren't really ready for those kind of plays.
Not ready for the strats.
The strats, yes, indeed. Big fight still going on the eel as well. See one player just lurking while the cap was going in front. Zool on his own, though. Does find Warrior. Excellent shot hold again from him.
Goes down the other side of it, though. Yeah, it will get traded. Vision has to back on down here, though. XENEX have gone to control of E. Looks like it's going to be forcing a fight away from F as well, just about here. XENEX, oh! Vision was looking to close the gap on Asaki. Didn't quite get it done. He will get his teammate up now. Banged. In a spot to help his team get a hold of E. Pushing forward, doesn't land the shot. Does hit the second. Not quite enough to do a decent amount of damage. Now Zenji in here for the pickup. Warrior Guns from behind as well. Should be able to clean up. Well played by Pickupp. They hold on where they need to. They will get a hold of E. That is their prize. D-Cap are going to come through. Over towards D side though. We push from Zool. Now Vision looking to try and get a back flash out. Looking to try and make this push if he can. Backing on down. Has a little bit of support here as well. Vision trying his best to stay alive. Manages to do so. And it just seems as if Pickupp are running around the map and picking up what they can in terms of these points. Very much fast transitions here, Toby.
Absolutely. So from both these teams, Breaker, his shots are on fire right now. Really impressed from how he's been playing. Likewise, this has been a really entertaining match from every perspective. Look at this, a push through middle. Zenji will save the day, finds one nice revive. Para lurking, there comes the flank as well. Crosses from the statue as well to boot. My goodness me, this is so close. Trades again, Vision will get one down, Zool will fall. Another trade comes out from Para, who's a little bit weak. Breaker finds a play in the center as well. Now Seabanged has to pull off a miracle, but he will not find it. The champions of E for now are Team XENEX.
Just about held on. It seemed as if it was really going the way of Pickupp there, but all of a sudden, click their fingers and XENEX find 3. Still, they need to hold on here. They've just taken the lead now. 23 seconds or so for that win condition. Para now going to make the push on to Zenji. Needs to deal with them. Does so. Just trades it out. Do we win the second one even a little bit more? Warrior Guns is tagged up. Well played by Para. Has help as well to keep this one solidified. Nobody near F as well. This is going to be a Team XENEX round. May well be via domination as well, but don't think it would have mattered. 2 seconds going to tick in, and XENEX 1 round away.
Yep, they are. And looking at that grid, you'd think Pickupp will get the next round and force us to a round 9. And I'm hoping we do see that.
We loves a round 9.
We really do. And it seems like any team's Zenji and Warrior Guns really plays with are great at forcing round number 9s. Yeah, they do need to get through this next one first, though. XENEX will be looking to close this one out in terms of placements. Yeah, you could expect tables to come through on either side. A little bit different, though, actually. You know, you disable the incend one side, disable the shock the other. Wonder if Pickupp are actually going to use that now to make a play for the home streak, right? They've blocked out the shock, opening the way a little bit more. Will this reflect in their open strategy? Let's keep a close eye on it.
Shots in from Warrior Guns. Can't quite find anything in the middle. Just feeling each other out, but it is going to be a big fight over towards E that's going to dictate how things go at the beginning of this round. Saki down. Trying to lock this one in, and well, he can take his time. He's got the more beneficial side of things. Of course, he's maybe a little bit more open. Vision takes a lot of damage from Breaker to kick things off, but him and the duo of Saki cannot quite get things going. Warrior Guns is going to come in, and he will punish Breaker for that one. It's a sweet start to the round for Pickupp. They'll lock in 8.
Yeah, really, really good job. They should be able to pinch out Zul here, making that 3 kills in quick succession. Unless Zul can pull off that kill right there, and he finds it. Absolutely incredible from Zul, his ability to hold shots this first map. Vision does clean him out, though, in the end. And Sarkster will be just on Vision's left. A little bit of nice points coming through for Pickupp here at the earliest parts of this round. And wondering what's next for XENEX. Breaker's coming through the middle. And it looks like E is the target here.
Looking that way. Could be a big 1v1 going on towards F very, very shortly. Saki just wants to try and decap this. Vision's had enough of the games, though, and pushes forward towards Statue. Gets shots into Saki. Can't quite find the second. Warrior Guns are going to deal 1 kill and ultimately find the second because of that as well. All of a sudden, Breaker will break the hill, but that's all he's going to do is he's now dead. So there you go. Pickupp in a good spot to get this round, but as said, there was a potential 1v1 that could be very, very big. And it's Para who wins it over towards F. So right now, it is actually a swarm win condition for XENEX, although 3 members just coming up off the respawn. We talked about that home hill hold. XENEX ready to lock this one in.
Yeah, there's the reinforcements from Zul. It'll take 2, maybe 3 of Pickupp now to ensure they can get back their F hill. And it really does come down to this one big play. Looking at the clock here, Chris. It all comes down to this.
It's ticking down. 93 seconds. I guess for Pickupp, they still have a very slight lead. Here they come, though. Para has a little bit of backup as well as Warrior Guns is going to go down in the middle, but Banged will be able to trade that one out. They could do with getting rid of Zenji. You can't let him do that, my goodness me. Oh, they kind of played into his hands, but he still had the job to do, and then all of a sudden, XENEX are not close enough points-wise. Or distance-wise to E. Saki will be able to get here, but, I mean, the damage was done. When Zenji finds those 2 towards F, lock it in with a 1. Got him win condition of 5 seconds, and XENEX ain't that quick. There you go. We have around number 9, Toby.
We do. We do, and honestly, Zenji couldn't have played that any better. Just the timing, in terms of how he's playing at the pace. He was waiting for his teammates to be there nearby, just in case he wasn't able to finish off the first or the second. They were close at hand to make sure the pinch would come through, and he just kept holding his right hand, Chris, kept holding that shot, that hard aim. And as soon as Para tried to make that all-in play, that up A, Zenji was there predicting it, reading it like a book. Excellent up A back, and finding the kills necessary to see the win out in the end. 4-4, and the long shot goes down in the middle, and you'd expect both teams to play perhaps a little bit more aggressively here through the middle instead of sitting back with the Lancers as we've seen in the previous 2-3 rounds. It'll all come down to this. Big, big round.
It is indeed. Let's see who's going to find it, though. Of course, utility on either side. Both teams going to have a hold of that, but the long shot is something that people do want to play for here. Of course, there is a Moxer on the map as well, but nervy start to the round here, Toby.
Vision's looking for it as well with that Moxer. That angle down the middle. Saki has forced him off. But Vision doesn't really want a 1v here, ideally. He wants to just stay alive and leverage this Moxer as much as you can. Just basic Gears 101. If you have a power weapon, no need to risk a 1v and risking losing that for your team. Meanwhile, Team XENEX, thanks to Saki's push-ups to the statue, they've been able to get the hook controller snipe. Well played indeed. Breaker is the man to pick it up. He's rotated out to safety. They should be able to get a cap here. Ooh, good shots from Vision though. Saki does get it down. Is anyone going to race to try and take him down? No, Warrior Guns will be at top table. Breaker with 5 shots left of the snipe and E-control. Team XENEX have the advantage.
Big Breaker's got the source with it. Zenji will find this big kill over towards F though. Has help here as well. Breaker on the long shot though. What can he do with it? It seems as if now Pickupp are going to do what XENEX did to them the previous round and pulled out on the home hill cap. Takes one good shot from Breaker to... There's this wide open though. And that's not what they're going to set up on. That smoke's not going to help.
No, not at all. And you're right, Breaker, he doesn't have many shots, right? But just the pressure of the snipe, keeping players' heads down, preventing them from really lancering is a big, big help. The rest of his team should be able to just push on in. They're going to lancer from just inside the smoke, though, and no one will see it coming. Breaker has to be really careful here. Great push, though, from the flank. Warrior Guns on his own. He'll be able to get out of there alive.
Shots.
And excellent job, honestly, from Breaker. It was a really tough decision to whether he'll actually go in and play for that kill and risk a snipe, but does it well. It pays off, and now he's got incense and a snipe to play with. Vision will fall.
Big fight.
E. And now XENEX in a great position.
Yeah, it's a big fight. You're now going to run through a long shot, a mark set, to try and get a hold of something here if you want to pick up. Do you still have a lead? So it is only a very close win condition. A decap of around, what, 15 seconds or so, you would think. Even that is all Pickupp need to try and find. But Breaker to find his thumbs for a second as he missed a couple of simple shots there. Vision will take damage. Warrior Guns backs on down. The incense are traded, and neither team finding a scalp for it. XENEX will get a hold of the long shot once again, though. Warrior Guns making this push now. Breaker ready and waiting. Cog team win condition, though, as they flip over towards E. The fight really needs to go in that direction. Warrior Guns is just going to go through and break this at F. Oh, Breaker, well. You got to find him. You got to find him. Which way these hills going to end up going? Oh, and it's actually Pickupp not getting anything on the board. They've lost everything else. Warrior Guns needed to get a hold of that. And it's the win condition of 3. Warrior Guns is going to be too late, and XENEX will lock in round number 9. We trade rounds back and forth all the way through, and it will end up being a 5-4 win for XENEX here on Foundation. I like that from Warrior Guns as well. That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, super unfortunate. That is absolute heartbreaker. And Warrior Guns, he did really, really well, didn't he? Amazingly well, actually, in the end. But he wasn't able to cap it. But it's just the team lost out elsewhere on 2 different hills at one time. And I guess you have to give it to him, right? Breaker was playing really, really well. Breaker, you'd argue, would got outplayed, essentially, when Warrior Guns were able to run past him and get the break. But, of course, the rest of his team off screen must have been doing wonders with the overextensions to get both the middle and the enemy's home hill. So well played to them, a deserved final round. But again, a really, really close one, Chris. Really down to the wire, each of those rounds. So I think Pickupp should, keep their heads high on that front. Remember, this is a strong map for Team XENEX. I think map 2 could be a lot better for Pickupp. I'm curious what the map is.
Could be a spicy one. I'm sure Matt will let us know. Oh, okay, so it's going to be Asylum coming up next. It's a little bit more of a... Well, I don't know. I feel as if... I always think that Foundation and Asylum, personally, are quite similar in the sense that it's a very standard, escalation kind of map. It's one of those where you get that set up with 2 and you can hold it for quite some time. Although Foundation, it feels like maybe is a little bit more slick in terms of you can flip things around a little bit easier. But nonetheless, Asylum... Not necessarily anything special coming out in terms of map picks here. No exhibits, no Vanskars, etc. Thank God for no exhibit. I'm curious which way this one's going to go here, Toby. Pickupp now in a spot to have to come back in the reverse sweep. And it looked like they have the potential to do that. A couple of rounds could have went their way, you think?
Definitely so. It just came down to the last play, right? That last one play, and I think that was the difference between what you have with a team, a well-coordinated practice team, and a Pickupp, right? That's what it comes down to, right? The chemistry, how quick can one react to the other and make those final plays count, especially under pressure as well. Who can you rely on? Who is close? How quickly can you identify your teammates? Where are they likely to be on the map? How quickly can you funnel through comms and strategies to make sure that final play is done with great timing and execution? I think that's what it comes down to, right? Pickupp, they're definitely up there with in terms of the individual skill. Vision was giving a great amount of difficulty on the T in the first half, and also the statue with Saki, right? Able to get the marks, are able to play really well. Warrior Guns, we saw what he could do with a shotgun earlier. Zenji, of course, was playing incredible as always in the shotgun department. I'm curious to see how he plays on train tracks again in the second half if he goes back to that original position as we saw him against Maradona on the same map.
Yep, let's see how it does go down. We are loading into Asylum now, so Nelly ready to get things going here in map number 2. How far are we expecting either one of these two teams to go, though? I mean, realistically, as far as I'm aware, they're on the same side as highly rated, aren't they? So,
Yeah.
a potential tough matchup. Isn't it funny that highly rated R? Same.
I said the same thing.
Are they linked?
They're not linked. They're
not
two different organizations, right? Rated R actually have a team in the LATAM/NA Pro League now, I believe. But no, they're not related. Completely different orgs. But yeah, I thought that was incredible for the for Rated R to essentially become highly rated, right? Not one after the other, but yeah, have the same kind of similar name. I think the boys in highly rated will be probably quite happy with that, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I suppose it's, there's something quite similar. I suppose.
Yeah, won the Pro League, won a major with it, with that rated word in the name. So, yep, I like it. I like it a lot.
Well, let's see if one of these two teams can offer some competition to them. If that is the team they will be facing in the semi-final, you would expect it will be. Saki has played this one quite well. Oh, you're not in a good spot here. Banged, has to be said. Team XENEX. Well, okay. Oh, God, it's caught me off guard, Toby.
Oh, my goodness me.
No, it's a donation. Oh, my God.
Where's the heads-up display gone?
Oh, my word. They need to fix that.
Yeah. Yeah, casting without sound, it does catch you out, folks, I assure you. Yeah. There you go. 1-0. We'll get better over time. It's just the quarterfinal. This is just map 2. We'll
for me, it's like the little sound cue. Just like it flicks the switch. Oh, domination! Like
yeah, it's just like a
Like right now, I've just had to lift my head up and look at when Ellie and Moran. I don't even know like where the little like dings that come in to say round starting. There's no noises for the weapon picks anymore.
Yep.
How am I supposed to know, Toby?
It's tough, mate. It's really tough.
Hard job being a caster, isn't it? Anyway,
words are tough. We can start that.
Ooh. I mean, Vision's going to get dealt with there by Para, who's kept going as well. Good shots on the warrior guns. Oh my word. Oh, okay, Para. He's just whispering bullets across the map, whether it be the Lancer or the Nasher. Oh well. I mean, if you're anybody on the side to pick up, stay away from Para. Domination ticking in. I've seen it this time around. Breaker's gonna find one himself. This is another round going over towards XENEX. You feel 2-1. Well, Bang didn't fancy it. Apparently, 1-0 is now 2-0.
Fair play to Para.
Oh god,
honestly, total output from that one individual there really was off the charts, and to push the 1v in that corridor as well is incredibly difficult. You really need to take your chances of when you can catch a player off guard. Like, I used to play 1v positions, Chris. I used to find little windows to push people. Every time I've played that 1v position in the middle, I found it so hard to try and push people, even on right hand. So when Para does that and makes it look easy, I assure you folks at home, it is really tough to pull that off.
Start for XENEX. Now we have something to fight for here. Up towards the door, towards bridge. Zul would be able to pick it up if he wasn't flashed out of his mind. The push is going to come through here. XENEX win the fight. Drop shot in the back pocket. Zul says to himself, right, we don't need any heroes player right now, but oh my god, is that Saki? The only man that can stop him is Breaker. My god. He'll be furious at that, by the way. Push towards Seeker to come on through now and pick up. Well, Asylum isn't looking too pretty for them. That's one through in the middle. Finds 2.
Active drop shot, by the way.
Yep.
My goodness.
Some damage on that. Zul gonna have to back on down.
I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting 1, but I saw 2.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't expecting 2.
Fair play. Fair play. Zenji, great kill on Saki here. Overextending to find Para. Great shot from the back A, but Para will fire back really quickly. Vision's fighting off on the train tracks as well. So despite that drop shot kill, despite that push for the triple cap, Pickupp have been able to regain some control with the spawns beating out XENEX here with a little bit of a score deficit.
Vision and Co having to back on down here. Oh, XENEX seem to have the wind in their sails, don't they? Warrior guns now in a really bad spot. Will do well to take anything out of that one, although he did find 1. Zul going down, and there's the trade. Breaker and Zenji pulling the trade at the exact same time. So you go into the favor now of XENEX as well. Push out going to come through from Para. Maybe feeling himself a little bit much after that previous round. And nonetheless, though, XENEX will be more than happy with how this one has started. Look at the scoreline in your top left corner. Things are looking very, very good on the side of Team XENEX. This will put them 3-0 up. I believe they'll probably win on a 1-cap from this point as well. But the fight is actually going over towards Pickupp. They will get a hold of B. I'm curious. Which way is that win condition going to go? It's going to stay with the COG team.
Yeah, XENEX just have to be careful with a huge score lead like this. They just need to make sure they don't get triple cap, essentially. They don't need to try anything too risky. They have got the drop shot, though. Big help for sure. That's going to be fired out. No active, no close to an enemy. But the fact they've got that and the enemy can't get it themselves is a really important part here. That drop shot finds one. I think he's just Superman with the drop shot. I've never seen that before in my life, but 20 seconds to go with 1 hill, and he hasn't got a shotgun. Hasaki, the overextension to the B hill will ensure, along with Para's OE, that they'll get this round. But, yeah, a drop shot Superman. Chris, I'm pretty sure he just hit someone on the head direct, got the headshot, and it barely blew up. There you go.
There we go. 3-0. Relevant of a drop shot, it's still looking very, very good for XENEX, isn't it? They won that fight very, very easily over towards the entrance, and you can't let that happen. If you're on the side of Pickupp, utility, not necessarily going to come through towards the bottom, building up towards it on either side of things. Of course, Pickupp are the ones who put their drop down in it. Did not work out for them whatsoever, but they have a second bite of the cherry here. 3-0 down. It's not impossible to see teams come back on Asylum. Of course, when the halves do change, sometimes the game completely changes itself as well.
Yeah, that's for sure. Zul full red. Good start from Pickupp so far. They just need to clean it up. Oh, that stun's not been perfect Warrior at all. Goes from a guaranteed kill into a guaranteed death just like that. Vision's picked up the drop. Oh, no, he hasn't actually. Excuse me. Drop's still there. I expected someone to pick that there, but no. XENEX will still be very close indeed. Look for the push in. Breaker baits one. I love that. Bait and switch from the two. Zul will go down nonetheless. Zenji will follow up. Another kill comes on through. Quickly, it becomes a 4v2 in terms of numbers. The drop shot picked up, and Power and Breaker have chosen to completely rotate over to the B hill, where they'll find no one there, really, until the rest of their opposition does rotate. Ooh.
It's not going to land. Don't think that one's either. No, that's a waste.
They didn't necessarily have to throw the drop over the train. I really like the oh, this is good. Oh, unlucky. Unlucky. But yeah, you don't have to throw the drop over the train tracks. He wasn't under any real rush to do that, to be honest. He could have just waited and made sure that as soon as the train goes, you'll know where his opponent is and go there. But here we go. Hog domination denied. Oh, these are simple kills for them to clean up. Power will find one. Zul another. Power still shooting through. Warrior Guns gets through. But completely outnumbered. XENEX will win the war of attrition. And now we're at 4-0 at the half. My goodness me. XENEX are playing very well on this map.
Yep, things looking very, very solid for them. Of course, something we do sometimes see, as previously mentioned, a lot of teams do tend to have a lot of fun when B is over towards the tracks, but now we move E into the equation up towards entrance. Of course, now the drop shot's still there, but it becomes just that little bit more important, of course, with the point there as well.
Yep, that's for certain. Interestingly, you usually have a shock, right, on both sides of the E hill by the time second half pops, but no, we don't in this case. One team has a shock and has a big advantage over the other. And Team XENEX has that advantage right now, so not looking too great for Pickupp, I'll be honest, on that front. Very rare that we see no shock. Question is, will Team XENEX take advantage of that? Smoke thrown in. Completely blocked the vision there from the back. Zul, simple run in for the pickup on the drop. Shock will go out as well just to make sure that everyone has to roll back. And now they can look to just have a simple capture on the E-hill. Textbook from Team XENEX.
Very well done. I'm going to lose the fight towards the middle though. Vision will back down. Saki now going to cover the home hill. It's weird to see him not playing the home hills. He hasn't done it very much this game, I felt. Not necessarily been as cautious as he has been in the past, and is sneaky for that fact. He's going to back on down. Wire guns, you very well may be dead here in a second. Just going to come in though. Should be now. Zul isn't even the help breaker. He just turns away. He knows that whilst dragging himself will get this one done, and Zul doesn't really not need help at all. The rest of his team doing the job across the map as well, and all of a sudden F is pretty much unprotected. Warrior Guns and Vision now making the push forward, waiting for the spawn protection to disappear, and well, that's as bad as a drop shot you could possibly want out of your teammate. Zul will find the shot, but unfortunately the Para will find it over the top this time though, and that one is good. Taki will be back up and kicking. Domination ticking in here. That's good shots as well. That should close it. It will close it. XENEX 5-0 on map number 2. They will advance on into the semi-finals, and look at pretty good so far. Toby has to be said, a close map number 1. Number 2, far from that.
Yeah, honestly, fair play to Team XENEX. I just think they played that a lot better. It wasn't that Pickupp were making incredible mistakes. Yes, there was that glaring lack of shock up top in the second half, but it was more so just XENEX were playing really, really well. They were just on fire. Breaker, for example, who had a really good first map in the shotgun department. Second map, he was going in as well, getting trades where he's shunned. He's moving really fast. You know, Breaker's typically a slower player, right, on the spectrum of a speed, but he was playing really fast today as well. And we saw Para go off in the middle. Zul was doing great work as well. Everyone was working extremely well on that second map, and I'm really impressed from Team XENEX. I expected Pickupp to perhaps be a little bit better on this map. I'll be honest. In terms of Asylum versus Foundation, Foundation really has a lot of teamwork involved in that map for sure. In terms of what's required and how beneficial it is. Asylum, we've seen how that second half plays out all the time, and up top, the best teams can falter there. So, yeah, unfortunate the way things ended in that second map, but well played to Team XENEX. An awesome victory today.
Yep, there we go. They will advance on into the semi-final, which is going to be coming up after this. Don't go anywhere. We've only got 2 more weeks of Open Series before the finals, and let's figure out who our teams are to watch. As I said, semi-finals coming up very shortly after this. and gents, welcome back to the EGL Open Series. Into the semi-finals we go, which have semi-started already, actually. We really wanted to see the start of this game between these two teams. It's going to be Maradona and Pele against what is essentially another pickup squad, but a pickup squad with a lot of stock. Although we don't know if it is just a pickup squad. Is it going to be a team that continues on through? Either way, what we have to tell you is that Maradona and Pele, if you have been watching the other streams, are up in this game. Of course, with the new edition of Crimsons, we're expecting big things. 1-0 in the series. Then we're heading over to Asylum, and it was a 5-2 win on training grounds for them. Toby, anything you picked up during that game? Anything in particular?
I was on a stream, and from what I saw, honestly, it just seemed a little bit deflated. Was the Hydron and the boys Phelpsy, Craze and TJ. They started off strong. It was 2-2 when I tuned in, I believe, and then it just 3 rounds in a row for Maradona, and just like that, 5-2. Players were saying, "Oh, this map's chalked at this point. We'll focus on the next." And here we are. We're on to Asylum. Maradona had a very good map number 1. I'm hoping that Team 1-2-3 can bring it back.
There we go then. Let's see. Team 1-2-3 can bring it back. Of course, 1-2-3 is an amalgamation of, well, old Elevate and TJ. Oh my goodness me.
Wow.
Oh, this man just every single week. I just like I used to be like I'm very much in the Dragons camp of him being one of the best to watch in Europe, but this on this specific tuning, Pains is just above and beyond at times. Ridiculous. His team may not be getting the results that they want to, but Pains every single week at least puts on a show. But here we go, kicking off into this game. Let's see if 1-2-3 can bounce back. Maradona and Pele, of course, 1-0 up in the series.
Just like that, 1-2-3 find 3 kills, and they're able to go all over to the B hill now. And look at that shot hold from Phelpsy, the master at it. Some might say so practice from during Gears 4 times. Here comes a triple cap, 3 seconds, just broken by Crisis. B hill just about captured as well, but TJ's picked up 2. And surely Crimsons will fall. There will be the triple. As Phelpsy held down the other side. Great little counter from Team 1-2-3.
Yep.
And straight onto the board. Well played.
Yep, lovely stuff. Find themselves a nice bounce back after a good start by Maradona and Pele, but not many kills actually picked up for them. Curious what 1-2-3 do here. Do we full send? See Maradona.
They used to, right?
At this, they're not very good at this push up towards entrance.
It's a great point. It really is, yeah. I'm curious. Nope, just both took down bottom. But no, Pains will select the next power weapon. Yeah, fun fact, I was watching him on a stream recently. It was Icy stream of Rise Nation, and Pains, I believe, beat him 2-0 in a 1v1 on the new mode control for money. He surprised him a lot. I think Pains was on like 70 ping or something. Icy being from America, and yeah, everyone was like, yep, Pains is an absolute demon, and Icy was like, yep, I played this guy on LAN, he is incredible. He said it himself. So yeah, Pains doing work across the pond this week, and evidently, you mentioned it right, he was great on the previous tuning, and he's also on this slower tuning as well.
Yep. I'd love to see him back on that big stage. This moment in time, we haven't had a big stage full stop in esports in quite some time, so that would just be nice to see. But in general, I would love to see this team with somebody like Pains upon it, causing issues to all the American God squads that we have seen over the years, of course. Maybe one day we'll see it again. 1-2-3 though, still up in this map nonetheless. Asylum looking good to them so far. Maradona and Pele, they're looking to bounce back, but at this moment in time, Bounce is all alone. Over towards C, well played by Crazed. And then we haven't seen enough at the top of the leaderboards in quite some time, but what can Pains do against him here? Ooh. Not a great deal. See you later, legs. Pains will fall down. Crazed is rewinding time a few years with that gunfight. Fantastic from him.
He is just so clinical on his tuning. So clinical. I was just telling you in the break, actually, I was playing against him in the tournament, and boy, is he incredible on this tuning. And I heard of those rumors way back when the tuning just came in, so it was a real disappointment when he stopped playing. So great to see him here, back at it again today with his old teammates.
He's going to have to back on down. Aggressive push coming in here from Maradona and Pele. B though, nothing going on over towards there for them. Crimsons will clean up in his home hill here over towards A. Oh, over towards C is their home hill, but we'll clean up towards A nonetheless. Phelpsy will find the shot from the outside of things. We'll get putted up on the outside and will, of course, be traded by Crimsons. Ultimately, though, it does work out. Even though they don't get to keep it, Crimsons will probably not get to keep his life either. C and B is their prize, and will find themselves with a 35-second win condition here, Toby.
Yeah, Payne's almost getting dropped there, but Crisis does flank high drone. And with this score lead, can Maradona hold out? Break coming in from TJ. Phelpsy's trying to take him down, but the Boltox shooting him to his side. Nice back A from him. Crimson's trying to clutch up here. Payne's to the rescue as well. Reinforcements are here. Phelpsy is down. TJ trying to hold his ground, but Payne's will take him down. And the B hill will be collected. Bounces will find his 1v on home street with only one player remaining. It is, I believe, Craze to try and clutch up. He finds one, needs to overextend, but Maradona and Pele are waiting on the other side. Big round from Maradona and Pele.
Yep. Very well played. And they needed that back, has to be said. Round number 2 now in their favor.
I tell you, Chris, if Team 123 can win today, I think it would be a real big moment for all of these players. You have HPJC essentially splitting. You have Crimsons going onto the other team, mind you, on Maradona and Pele. I don't think there's any bad blood, I'll be honest, between the players because of that change. It's more so that just Crimsons is playing basically every single day and playing his heart out like the Italians. And he just wanted a team that was doing the same thing in terms of the practice department. And then you have a clear opening for Craze, who, you know, with the right team would still like to play. TJ's been playing with him this whole time. And then, you know, Phelpsy and Hydrone are looking to try and build HPJC back up. So you've had two teams that have just come out due to maybe one roster change. But it's important for the latter team, Team 123, to perhaps win today to prove that they've still got it in themselves, right? And give them the motivation to keep driving forward and set us up for a really good finals here in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we want to see. We want to see teams motivated to try and beat that highly rated squad. That's what the motivation has to be right now. Of course, a decent chunk of change on the line in Europe and in South America in 2 weeks' time. I don't know how TJ is not being punished for that, but my goodness. Paynes will find one on the offset, though, and he'll drop after that as well. So ultimately, TJ will come out with a beat. And rolled up. Looked like he should have definitely been punished for that one, Toby.
You know how I like to scream alternate into mics these days?
Yes.
Yeah. I won't stop. I will not stop. But sometimes it does work out. The roles are unpredictable. And so sometimes a shot can be fired when it's perhaps less than ideal. I think that's how Crisis got caught out there. Just didn't expect the roll to come diagonally across him.
Crisis now trying to set up in the same spot. Good first shots. The second, not quite as good as he would have liked. TJ this time around, though, should be punished. Well, at least somebody on the other side of 1-2-3 should be. Paynes, a nice duo to have in that situation. It is a lead, though, for 1-2-3 at this moment in time. Paynes now making the push across. Yeah, Crisis is going to die, and this is seeing often as well. Maradona, Pele looking to lock in the domination here. Paynes is pushed out now to push back in. Teammate goes down in the corner, but the cleanup coming through from Bouncers and Co. That's the round, surely. Domination in 4, 3, 2, and 1. And Crisis, the bodyguard at the door. Craze not going to make it through either. Nice play from Paynes, and that is now 2-1 to Maradona and Pele. Things looking saucy for them here.
Yeah, they're starting to stretch the legs a little bit now. Maradona and Pele, they're starting to be a bit more aggressive on the tracks. They're starting to overextend a little bit. They were winning 1Vs on the home street plenty of times also, and giving 1-2-3 a run for the money. This is when they start getting scary. And here we go. Yep, go for it. Drop shot top. Let's see it. There you go. It's happened. And they want to take it straight to that fight up top. Yes, they've got a new teammate in the form of Crimsons, who is a very good pickup for Maradona, but have their strats change at all? And will they be able to contend with the team of 1-2-3? Let's see.
Let's see, indeed. It's not going to be an easy thing to do.
Oh my god.
His first one there, though. That first shot is going to back them all down. Oh. Doing the third as well. I mean, you might as well line up all four. They're chasing them down. They're hunting them out of town. And oh my goodness, that start of the round couldn't have been any better from the side of Maradona and Pele.
Well, Pains right now is hitting absolute bricks. Blind firing across the map. It is just so on point. B-Hill's going to be capped up. 3 seconds to go. They need to break it right now. Phelps, he's the first man through the door. Isn't able to connect his shot with Crisis. Craze will find her. Oh, get taken down as well. And just like that, it's 3 rounds in a row now for Maradona and Pele. And it really isn't a good sign for 1-2-3.
Nope.
After a less than stellar performance on training grounds.
Yeah, it's not looking too smart for them right now, is it really? Not looking ideal, to say the least. And the problem is here, that fight up top, which they wanted to force, they're now all behind in the instance of utility to help them out as well. It's a bad spot to be in.
It is, and now we're on to the second half. One team again has shot grenades, the other does not. In this instance, it's Maradona, the leader, with the shot grenade, and the underdog, you might argue, with a 3-1 deficit without it. Will Payne's try and go for a world record kill off the start here again in timing. Still stunned, still strafing. TJ walks straight into his shot, unable to come and bring out his Nasher in time. Drop shot picked up for Pains. 3 members down, make that 2, excuse me. And they'll be looking to find those remaining kills.
Yeah, this one is falling apart ever so slightly. Yeah, for the side of 1-2-3. Maradona and Pele very much dominating these open exchanges. And it is helping them find themselves in a good spot in this round, in this map, in this series. Drop shot through. Pains will find one on a TJ. It just feels as if ever since that round number 1, they haven't skipped a beat.
Yeah, I agree totally. They've really just focused in on hard on their gameplay. And 1-2-3 haven't really found the same kind of spark to their gameplay. They've not been able to string kills together in the same way. And now Pains, he's got 2 kills. This is a 2v1 up top for the brief period of time before one rotates. Although he's there now. Suddenly the hell has been broken. Crisis looking to fight back using that damage advantage provided by his teammate. And Pains is already overextending as well.
Yeah, bad spot to be in here if you're 1-2-3. Domination ticking in. 4, 3, 2, and 1. They may have to do something about it very quickly. Once again, the domination's here, but on the other side of things, 1-2-3 do have somebody over towards D. He's just about going to make it there in time. Will be down, though. So Crisis to drop in a second, but 1-2-3 will survive because of that mostly. Bounces will fall too, so still life in this round here, Toby.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Bounces held that for so long, I'll be honest. Eventually he'd get pinched if, regardless, but nonetheless, can 1-2-3 take advantage of the situation? No, they cannot. Crimsons and Crisis will hold their shot. And that counter immediately has been snuffed. Oh, domination as well, blanking. 2 seconds to go. Break on the B hill, the E hill for now. TJ's been able to fight his way through and find Crimsons. 1 down. Revive chain starting to come in. Bounces trying to clean up. They have to push forward. They're getting pinched, but I think they can get it. Little Bounces will pick up the remaining kills. Maradona and Pele will win by score. 4-1 now, Chris.
Yep.
My goodness me, it's not looking good.
It isn't.
1-2-3.
It isn't. It felt like the end of that round was coming for quite some time there as well, didn't it? It is really not looking good for the side of 1-2-3 here. The thing is, I just don't know what even to suggest at this point. They're losing the initials, and I mean that never helps. But from there, it's just so easy for Maradona and Pele to take every single part of the advantage that they won, really.
Yeah. Yep. Nothing is really working out for 1-2-3. They just keep losing the numbers, and Maradona are making them pay for it. Phelpsy, though, does find Pain, so there's a little bit of energy and life left. But Boom Shot was picked up, meanwhile, by Maradona down bottom. They find that. Bounce is still fighting against 2. That is excellent from him. Great timing on that left-hand back ace. So difficult to perform when you're not on the end of the cover. Whips his body around and he makes it work. Now, Hydron is the target for 2. Trying to get out of that. Difficult task. Simply done from Bounces going wide. I'm wondering, with that drop shot picked up from Crimson's, another kill coming on through. Will they be able to leverage that now into a potential triple cap?
Ugh, I mean, the Italian shotguns hurt. They really do. Maradona and Pele looking to lock this one in. Phelpsy trying to say something about it. Oh, he can't do much in the respawn queue, but just about surviving that one. Should be able to help his team do something here. Domination still ticking. Good shots by Phelpsy. 1 and 2. Nicely done. Still got it, no doubt. But still, at this moment in time, this team do not have a great deal of points, and that is the problem here. Toby, Maradona, and Pele very much well in front here.
Yeah, they've done so much work now, and they've earned themselves this cushion. Although I say that, Phelpsy, or rather Craze, does find one. Trades are still coming through, though, and it just seems like Pains is immortal at this point. He's revived and able to pick up those remaining kills. Big fight. Bounces not able to get that back A that time with his body facing the other way. Phelpsy does need this kill, ideally, with a points deficit. He looks for it. Crisis just shuts him down, gives him from there, and just like that, lets him know how he feels about that one. As Maradona have a huge cushion now, and it just seems like Maradona are not stopping in the kills department.
Nope. They haven't slowed down, even remotely. Domination ticking. Well, somebody here who can do something about it for 1, 2, 3, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's really going to matter. It's about a 200-point deficit. Crimson's going to be flashed up. His old teammates falling to the wayside. Ins will kill Bounces, and I think that actually might make a difference to the round, although it may not. Won't make a difference to the round, the match, or the map, for that fact. 5-1 to Maradona and Pele. A very convincing map number 2 out of them. 1, 2, 3. Falling at the semi-finals. Maradona and Pele will be the first ones through to that grand final, and we know who we presume it's going to be up against, but it's nice to see them coming in on hot form as well. Of course, that addition of Crimson's looking like it's been paid off, Toby.
Absolutely so. I think anyone could tell you from that roster change that the team would be improving with Crimson's on it. Honestly, he's such a great player, a star player. Like I said, he hasn't stopped playing as an individual. He's constantly playing the SSGs, the scrims, and whatnot. And so it's no surprise that he wants to play with a team that is also doing that as individuals. You know, all of them playing these 1v1s, the ELOs, the scrims. And I think now with Crimson's in that team, it boosts the slaying power up a little bit. It allows Maradona to stretch the legs even more so. I think that's what we just saw play out on Asylum. They were able to constantly just run at the initial full steam ahead, which, by the way, they changed completely up top. Pains was actually flying at the covers instead of just holding back, trying to do some strategy involving Lancers, and that's paid off for them as well. They do that, they get the kills, they're already on the enemy side and the enemy's third, and they pick up the kills, snowball them into triple caps. What more can you do about that than trying to actually stop them at the start? We saw some kills come from Phelpsy. We saw some kills come from Crazed. TJ got some kills there and then, but just not as frequently, and to be able to counter the Italian steam train coming at you constantly. And I think that's basically how the team of highly rated will have to deal with them themselves, is just to beat them on initials or stop them from pushing forward, because eventually it just gets away from underneath you and you can't do much about it.
Yep. Well, we will find out if it is going to be highly rated going into this grand final. We'll presume it will be, but we are going to find out if it is actually going to be them. Of course, we have the other semi-final coming up after this short break. Don't go anywhere. Plenty more Gears 5 action to come. Ladies and gents, welcome to the EGL Open Series semi-final number 2. And this time around, we do have a slightly different opponent for a team under a different organization. This time around, highly rated, formerly Apollo 24, etc., etc. The team who've been winning everything. Going up against Team XENEX. And this game, well, it's been ready to go for quite some time, but they haven't started. I don't know if they were just waiting on us, but, well, Breaker's on the other team, so, you know, he always likes to make us wait, typically. But this time around, they've kind of been waiting for us. But we will get to see this second semi-final. The way we're expecting it to go is, well, predictable. But at the same time, XENEX, could they upset the odds here? Toby, what do we think?
Yeah, I wonder. They had a really good map number 2 earlier on against, admittedly, a Pickupp team, but it was perfect, right? 5-0 on Asylum.
Yeah.
Can't get much better than that. As mentioned, Breaker was doing really, really well individually in the shotgun department. Really aggressive, really fast. Zool was doing really well. Para had some great moments, of course. Asylum on that map in particular. But I don't know, you're against highly rated, aren't you? You're against literally the top team in Europe who have been literally flawless since this roster formed in week number 2 of the split. We're now in week number 9. I mean, what more can you ask from these guys? They are literally formidable. And they're looking to stay flawless, it seems like, every single week. They don't ever not perform up to par.
Yep. Every single week it does look very, very strong, and has to be said. Can they continue to do so, though? It has to be argued that maybe this new Maradona squad could be a team that potentially could cause them some damage, or at least scare them. We'll find out very, very shortly, you would imagine. Highly rated, looking to try and get into this game. Team XENEX with a pretty decent start, though. It's about a 40-point lead. It's a big push from highly rated down towards B, and XENEX have quite happily soaked up that pressure, but nonetheless it is highly rated with the 2 points and technically with that win condition.
Great push from Zool there. Catching out, I believe it was Strikers on the walkway. Such great timing. And now highly rated trying to get back into the swing of things. Dragon's missing a few shots here actually, and Saki leaving Marsh on his own. Triple cap comes through because I didn't even notice it. 2 minutes it took Team XENEX to get the first round on the board. Great start for them. They've really practiced on this map of Harbor. Let's see if they can keep that up. Look at that. 6 kills for Zool in round number 1. Well played.
Very, very good start to the game for XENEX. Not one that even we expected, to be fair.
No, I agree. Totally. Highly rated actually went for a very ambitious push down bottom. 4 players, it seemed like, on the wall of B, trying to go all out and make a play down there. Didn't really pay off too well for them. But the important bit really remains this fight up top. Up top on Stern and on top of Winch. For both teams. Let's see how this one plays out.
Fight going to go down here. Which way is it going to go? Usually we'd be saying towards highly rated. Not necessarily working out in their favor, although there we go. The Strikers will just about come out on top on that one. Cougar's now trying to win this fight up top, but once again, XENEX, they've got the better of, well, the control of the map so far. Playing this very, very well so far here, Toby.
Yeah, they most certainly are. Both players dipping from essentially what was a 1v. Saki trying to get back to Winch to see if he can locate another before he's angled out. Cougars has him on lock though. Here comes Breaker. He has to be caught though. Or be careful he doesn't get caught out. He does get to safety. Points-wise, Team XENEX with the lead here. They've got hold of the B hill. But map control for Dragons here on the Winch.
A good spot to do something, but XENEX have been very much focusing on B and locking that in first before doing anything. And well, it's found themselves with a win condition here of 70 seconds. Highly rated have to fight back from the back foot, which is not something we're used to seeing them do, in fairness, Toby. They usually are the ones being the aggressors, being the ones pushing the tempo. Dragons are trying to get something going here themselves. A lot of good shots going to go in. Zool, Breaker, all in a bad spot. Highly rated get a hold of B and that win condition. You can imagine they're going to have their sights on to see very, very shortly, but it probably depends which way this fight goes for Marsh. He will find one. Lance it down from the other side. XENEX have been doing a really, really good job down towards B here. Really good job.
Most certainly so. They have been dominating really down in this B area. Regardless of what highly rated throw at them. Pretty much going 50-50. top. Now they just need to make sure they can hold out. Dragons does find one. They'll likely look for this 1v as well against Para. Good defense from Para, though. Excellently well played, holding the shot. Keeping the damage at bay, making sure Dragons isn't giving him a simple wrap shot. Now, can he find a similar victory here at the B hill on this 1v? Striker's good shot. Zool is there. Oh. Nice little revive. They have to be careful when they do that, and it seems to have paid off. The fight does continue.
It does. So one condition is there. Will it still be after a Pickupp going to come through? Not quite. It just about changes hands. Highly rated looking to get this round locked in. Para could have done with his teammate to help him, but Zool will fall before Para does to Cougars, of course, and now Dragons putting the pressure on over towards A as well. So one win condition is there, though, after the Breaker's going to come on through. But really well played by Breaker, who's holding them at bay here. Was it for long enough? Domination denied. Highly rated going to be momentarily the only ones getting points on the board here, which might be the difference. Yeah, it's going to tick into highly rated's territory here, even on a 1 cap. Good push by Cougars. That'll be the first round of the map and of the series for highly rated, but they really were made to work for that, Toby. Very, very much so.
Yeah. Highly rated really need to pull it all out of the bag, essentially, on that one. And they did make it work, but you're right. I think everyone right now is doing their job on Team XENEX. Their initials are working for them. The opening strats seem to be working well. But the thing is, Team XENEX have been doing so well down bottom of the B hill. Highly rated keep throwing numbers down there, but they're just not as successful as they previously have been at just cleaning up the map and going for those triple caps. They're really making them work for it. I'm just hoping for Team XENEX to state that they can carry on, really, with how they're playing this.
Round number 3. Keep it up if your Team XENEX. You very much have been in this game. Where's this fight up top going to go? Ash is going to drop. Dragons will get him back up though. 2v1 for Saki, never easy to come out of the back end of. Dragons are making the push, and Zool and Brig are not in a good spot here. Need to fight their way out, and well, they're very much dead now, so they can't do that. Dragons will find the 2. The push over towards A is probably going to come in here as well. Saki, Secret Man. Dragons dead. Very well played by Saki.
Yeah, highly effective Secret Manning on left-hand covers like that. Players never expect it. Look at this angle from Breakup. Cougars is aware that he's just trying to hold it for the B cap, though. Not sure if it's a good decision. He's going to get trapped here. Team XENEX walking in, getting the damage. Strikers can't hold him at bay. Oh. That's 2 kills now in quick succession for Para and Team XENEX. Look at this. Dragons making plays through the middle as well. Finds Breaker. Marsh is overextended to the A hill. Zool letting him go for now just to make sure that that kill is cleaned up. I don't know if Marsh can hold this for long. He's trying to find that one shot, but can't find it. And the score lead is in favor of XENEX. They just need to hold on to this B hill.
Been working out so well for XENEX so far, this B control. Not going to go down, only momentarily. This is a big fight, my goodness me. Dragon's now pushing the tempo if he can, finds Para, and then they're down onto Saki as well, but Marsh is going to have to deal with somebody up towards Winch because the fight's been won because of their Lancer shots coming on through. Trades are going to come through here for Zool, though, and we'll actually get the shots into Dragons as well. Was already down, but Marsh is overextended over towards it, keeping his team's deficit down as low as possible here. It's been climbing. XENEX have really had the better of highly rated over towards B.
Yeah, constant battleground this B hill has been, and Team XENEX still their score does remain in front because they are typically the victors here. Big kill from Para. Again, Zool with a quick revive, courtesy of the knife down to reset the health for Saki. That's another kill coming on through. 2 members down, and with a score lead, will they choose to overextend? No. Looks like they'll set up with the 2 hills and play it safe. Keep their lives and ensure there's no route back for highly rated into this round. As Breaker is trying to keep his life himself.
And he's going to manage it as well. 15 seconds for the win condition. You can see a domination come on through. We're just going to find the first kill, but think that might be the nail in the coffin. For this round, Marsh overextends over towards A. Needs to hold it against 2 players, pushing the oh my goodness me, Marsh. First part of that was fantastic. Isn't able to lock in the second, but what was fantastic was Team XENEX there constantly throwing bodies over towards B. It feels like some adjustments really need to come in for Highly Rated because it's not working for them. There really isn't. I don't know if it's just lack of control of Winch helping them with the push over towards B, which is not something you would expect from Highly Rated. You very much think these initials over towards Stern or towards Winch would go in their favor. It's something they're quite well known for. But not working out for them here at all, Toby.
No, I think Highly Rated have been used to just winning their shotgun battles and overextending and dominating the pace. But no, Team XENEX have been winning down on the B hill. It forces more numbers down bottom as a result, weakening their plays up top. Leaving Highly Rated a little bit stretched here, trying to react as things go by, and it's not like them at all. Finally, though, they do get a nice team fight on the cards here on the Winch. Saki with a lovely overextend gets Marsh down. Will he try and hold for the 1v? No. Triple cap potential, but an overextension comes through. That's 2 downs as well. Saki still lurking in the A hell. This is troubling times for Team XENEX. Dragons was the only one left alive for a moment.
Swarm domination ticking in. Not quite that. Strikers just manages to make it over towards A. Highly Rated. What is going on here? With all respect to Team XENEX, you would very much expect Highly Rated to be dealing with them on Harbor.
I think so.
XENEX,
this has been a really strong map as well for Highly Rated.
Yeah, it always has been. XENEX are really... And the thing is, it's not like they're stealing rounds away or anything like that. They're locking them in, they're controlling them, and Highly Rated just seem to not be at the races here necessarily, but plenty of rounds left to go. Cougar's going to drop on down now as well. I mean, that's just so easy for Breaker to do. Is Para going to be there for the trade? Not quite. Strikers has Dragon in tow as well. Well, that's actually further down towards B, but Para will find the shots on the Strikers and will find the kill. But look at the score. It's 100 points difference. Highly Rated, very much in danger of going 3-1 down here. Need to change something. I don't know whether it's a drop up top or something along those lines, but in general, with the map in the state that it's in, they're not winning.
No, I agree. I agree totally. They do have the edge right now, and it's really clear for Team XENEX. Again, this round is important, though, Chris. You still need to see it out. If there is a team to bring this one back, it is Highly Rated. And their players to push on in. Great down from Zul, catching Dragons there if you get stuck in the corner. And what's really impressive to me at this point, Chris, is every individual in this team of Team XENEX seems to be utterly and entirely composed. There's no nerves on show. They're all hitting shots. There's no lapses of judgment. There's no clear mistakes. Team XENEX are firing on all cylinders. And their teamwork is impeccable. And it shows in the scoreline.
Highly Rated, for all that we've said that their talent alone can carry them through some rounds. Their teamwork is very much being tested, as is their talent here. Team XENEX 3-1 up. Honestly, I mean, and again, I'll give my respect over to Team XENEX. They are looking like a top 4 team in Europe right now. But I honestly thought, well, we'll probably be loading into that grand finals within 45 minutes. But at this moment in time, they are very much making a series of it. Again, no, for Highly Rated here, why haven't they changed anything? E is now where things are going to get down. I think, after this round, if it doesn't go their way, we see a drop shot up top.
Yeah, you and me both. I would not be surprised if we see that. Especially given it's second half now as well. I think they'll be happy, in fact, that they no longer have to deal with down bottom to the extent that they were before. I think they just want to keep the fight a clean cut team fight up top, to be honest. Oh, Zul's messed that up. That's unfortunate. Back 8 didn't come out at the time he wanted. Ends up hitting the wall. Breaker's trying to save the day. Incense thrown in. Not going to connect, though. Not sure why he aimed that at the cover instead of just behind it. But nonetheless, pinch coming through. Zul does push forward. Literally a line of fire stopping him from being able to shot hold his way to find Marsh. He gets picked up nonetheless. Taken down. Highly Rated to have the middle hill and up top control. And the question I pose to Team XENEX now is whether they can keep up that points lead that they keep getting with the hill up top instead of down bottom.
That's the thing. That fight down bottom's a lot more dependent on having a little bit of winch control and the Lancers coming in. Whereas this, especially on the initial fight over towards winch, if you like. I always get them mixed up, Toby. I'm an idiot. Anyway, up here, this initial fight is always... It's a bit more headbutty, isn't it? It's very much heads down, getting in by the shotguns, just like Breaker's doing there. I like the aggression out of him, but his teammates being there would have definitely helped things out nonetheless. But Marsh and Cook, can they clean up? Yes, they can. A bit more like it from highly rated. Win condition of 50 seconds. Alright, has to push forward because the Flash is baiting him out a little bit. Strikers back that fight down maybe a little bit further than he would like to, but Cougars is there to help turn the tide. Domination is going to take 5 seconds until this one's locked in. Zool will get there. He will drop, but look over towards Z. He has postponed the domination ever so slightly. Saki has made his way over, but crucially, if you look at this points difference, highly rated, very, very much firmly in the driving seat. Round number 5.
Yeah, highly rated, putting all the work necessary to see this round out now. They still have 2 hills, not even down to the 1. That changes now. Let's see if Breaker can pull something out of the bag. He'll need a break ASAP, but he won't be able to get there in time. There we go. Highly rated on the board, and you're right. I think the Stern battle is much more of a headbutt, you know, a all-in shotgun kind of play, as Breaker showed with his up A earlier. And winch becomes a little bit less important, actually. Apart from the initial, retakes just tend to be a big one push up the ramps, right? As we saw from Team XENEX try that themselves. And as a result, I think this does favor a little bit more highly rated. Look at this. They're going to respond, actually, Team XENEX, by putting a drop shot up there and going all in. Perhaps they prefer to actually fight up there from the get-go and send more numbers there instead of having that winch battle at the start, which honestly has been a bit more 50-50 and leaned highly rated and towards highly rated side in the previous round. So I wonder if that's going to pay off for them in the long term here, as highly rated are really effective up top. Oh, they're playing back.
Yeah, I'm sure I agree with this one. Maybe they're trying to bait out the push with the incens, but hasn't worked out so far. Zool will fall. Oh, Breaker can't find the kill on the Dragon's Eye. Yeah,
I mean,
sure on that play call.
Breaker needs a kill as soon as he hits that top cover and up A something. He can't just carry on going forward like that because he is completely on his own while his team are on the ramp. Let's see. Can Para get themselves back into it? Oh, Marsh is not hitting his drops or incens right now, and Para's punished him for it. Excellent play from Para taking the cover, but unfortunately, triple cap will come through nonetheless, as his team did overextend, and Para cleaned up the kill instead of breaking the hill. I'm sure that is a miscalculation on his end. I think Marsh was pointing that out with the asterisks. And there you go. 3-3, as we still see highly rated perform in the up top fight. Hoping Team XENEX plays this a little bit different, actually.
What do we think Marsh said?
I think he might have just typed asterisks, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes
was it 6, 5, or 6 letters? Well played, mate.
Well, WP, mate. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The thing is, right, I usually just type a space sometimes when I don't know what to say. So nothing appears, basically. If you're trying to imagine what that looks like. My name just pops up. Yeah, that's speechless in Gears talk, in my opinion. Look at this for initial, though, nonetheless. We're talking absolute gibberish. Sarkster is down. Everyone else has been taken out. Highly rated are performing a bit more like themselves. Overextension coming on through. They've got a drop shot to use. Saki's only just starting to respawn. And Shock has gone out as well for good measure. Breaker literally body block, just held back by Marsh. And that is it. 3 rounds in a row for highly rated now. And it's a shame that Team XENEX haven't been able to keep up their performance in the second half as they have in the first.
Yeah, I think that drop shot, had it not come in from them, I think it's coming in anyway, but...
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'm not too sure if that would have been necessary.
Yeah, maybe just a drop shot down bottom, to be honest.
Well, that's when that make the most sense, wasn't it? Yeah, essentially.
I mean, they're doing it now with the talk bow, but I wouldn't send... many
Feels like a bit
numbers
of
down there, to be
it's a
honest, for
bit more
that.
like of a desperation kind of thing, isn't it?
I just don't understand why they've done that thinking now. Like, why not just put a drop shot down bottom instead of up top? Because that was how you winning, was with down bottom mid rounds, but instead of going all in on this. Anyway. Oh, nice insend. Really nice insend. It would have blocked the top of the staircase off anyway, even if the kill didn't come through. He's trying to weapon slide that drop. There we go. Hits it nicely. EGL captured. Cougars will get revived. Zul's come on all the way on the flank. Dragons, you can see, trying to spot with his Nasher there. I don't know. Zul's still fighting. He's found Cougars. Yep. Saki's pushed up. Marsh has been taken down as well. Dragon still has his dropout. He really has to choose what weapon he's going to use now. I'd love for him to use the drop, but he's not going to have the opportunity to do so. Zul will find him. And just like that, somehow, Zul has saved this entire initial for his team.
Yep, completely saved it. I think for Dragons there, it's one of those that if you push with a drop shot or try and find a shot with a drop shot, it doesn't hit and you've still got it out. It's one of those, you will lose it. But keep it backpacked and Zul can't do anything with it. For all of Zul's good work to kick things off, he hasn't been able to influence much since. You get caught up by Dragons here potentially as well, which will land shots. Oh my god. There goes Zul. Saki, are you next as well? I feel like you are, although saying that.
Saving
Saki
the day
will
again.
lock in E. Yep, he needed to do that as well, as the domination will get on ticking. Alright now, trying to make this push. It's not an easy one at all. XENEX need that man over at 8 to probably come and help them get out of this, to be honest with you. Parrot, head down, sprinting. Plenty of damage coming in from Marsh on the other side of things as well, as Cougars keeps the pressure on. It's going to drop, but damage kind of done. Right over towards E is actually won as well. Saki has had a good time with things the past couple of minutes. It's a big kill at the Dragons and another there on the Cougars, I do believe. So E locked in. XENEX win condition to send us to round number 9.
Yep. Here we go. The retake attempt. Oh, has been amazing, actually, for Cougars and Strikers to somehow pull the kills out like that. And there's a second. E-Hill broken. Advantage too highly rated now. With only 30 seconds to go and Marsh overextending.
Yep, that's it. Domination to tick in. I do not think anybody from XENEX will be able to get there in time. The rogue drop shot going to come through and not quite connect. Don't really think it's going to make a difference to the rest of the round. XENEX trying to push through. Not going to happen. 5-3, 4 rounds in a row to get it done. Map number 1 will go over towards highly rated.
Yeah, very unfortunate actually that it flipped the way it did. You'd expect highly rated to get 4 rounds in a row, right? But the fact that they did that after Team XENEX played amazingly in that first half, really pushing highly rated as a team to the biggest degree in quite a while now, is really saying something. I'm a little bit confused as to the drop shot placement at top. I'll be honest. I really think that should have been the complete opposite you were doing, right? You've lost the initial up top a number of times on Stern. Really, your advantage, your unique skill in that first half was literally winning down bottom in those fights. Those respective fights, you won the overwhelming majority of them. You got your points from there. The fact that they didn't put a drop shot down there and really just test highly rated in a completely new area. They scrim them a lot. I'm not sure if there's something that they've had success with in the past of putting a power weapon up there. Maybe it's something I don't know, but from what I just saw right there, they should have put a drop shot or something powerful down bottom. Maybe even a frags down middle, for example. Just something to change the numbers. Don't keep it to that initial up top. Try and keep it like the first half for as long as you can.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I've just heard in my ear the one word I don't like to hear every single week during Open Series.
PC? Mouse? No?
No, Exhibit. Mate.
Exhibit.
Oh, yeah. Exhibit going to be coming up in map number 2. Thinking of this map, though, whose hands does it play in? If you're looking at this series, I would say... I mean, we've seen some good games from the side of highly rated on this one specifically. So can we see that again from them to close this out? Or do you think it's one of those where, you know, it's sort of, it's kind of Saki's playground, isn't it? He likes that push over the top through bridge. He very much likes the overextension coming through. Whether or not he's going to be able to get away with it or not, is another thing, but it's definitely a map that can be cheesed a little bit if you like it, if you are on the side of XENEX. It's a weird one at times.
Yeah, the interesting thing now actually is that Zaki no longer really plays up top. It's since we've moved to 4v4, it's actually Breako who's decided to go up top.
Okay.
He's pretty good at that 1v, I'll be honest, playing against him. But yeah, I mean, back to this game, I think highly rated now are just going to steamroll as they usually were. Back to their usual selves. They'll be happy with 4 rounds in a row, perhaps a little bit deflated on the opposing team side. And I think Cougars and Dragons will start to let rip down bottom. I'll be honest, I think they'll be a little bit more aggressive and they'll get back to their usual footing.
Well, into Exhibit we go. Who will be the first one to find a kill down low? XENEX now on the Hog side. I believe I called them Xanax before. I'm sure that's a
medication.
It is.
Yes.
It's close, in fairness. Let's be fair to me.
It is very close, yeah.
Zul and Co. going to get dropped in. We'll have to back on down. But they do have what they came for. They're on escalation. Obviously, the 3 points across the map. A and B. All of the control here for XENEX on Exhibit. Good start for them. But, of course, something we haven't spoke about much is control. Coming, of course, to Gears. Hasn't quite made its way to the esport yet, Toby. It's got potential, though.
Yeah, we've had Koth competitive, single ring competitive back on Gears 3. And really, it was liked by a lot of teams. It was only great on 3 maps for the entire time, but Triple Cap almost coming through, Dragon saving the day. Let's see if this round closes out just here. Team XENEX. Brilliant round. Just like that, overextension from across the top. And a really good start, but yeah, I mean, back to control. I think it has potential, Chris. Of course, we've got history with Koth in esports, but control is kind of the evolution. I wouldn't have been surprised if TC just chose to call it Koth 2.0, to be honest, because it still very much is Koth, but some key changes. You've got the larger ring. You've got the blitz-style point capture or hard point like COD. That's where the similarity comes from, where as soon as you enter the hill, you get points. The wave respawn is gone. It's just a constant respawn timer of 5 or 7, depending on what the settings are set to. But I think there's a lot of simplicity involved with one hill, and escalation has been favored by a lot of people, but not so favored by others in terms of its complexity. A lot of the variables and the weapon placement and stuff hasn't really been great as of recent, and so I think a lot of players are just yearning a new experience. And control, well, Koth has been the most popular mode in the casual level and ranked level for a long time now. So if you can get that mode also into an esports level of integrity and good for the highest levels of play, then I think we've got a winner for Gears Esports and a potential future mode.
Maybe it's something that can be looked into. Maybe. I'm sure we can test the waters with something, Toby.
I think so. It's a lot of fun, Chris, and yeah, I think from the tournaments we've seen so far, a lot of the European players do seem quite interested in returning to a single ring objective mode.
I mean,
what do you think, Chris? Do you like the idea of single ring modes from COD as well, hardpoint?
I think it's something different, at least, and honestly, I feel as if it maybe needs a little bit of a refresh. I feel as if the tuning coming in was a refresh. It has to be said. I think control could be something to refresh it somewhat a little bit more. At this moment in time, though, highly rated. I'm gonna press the refresh on this map because right now XENEX being in control for the majority of it. Zul has had a big say in it. 8 kills to his name over the course of these 2 rounds we've seen so far. Highly rated are going to lock in A and B, though. Looking good for them, but it's just been winning their gunfights, winning their initials down low. Team XENEX very much having a lot of luck with these fights in the middle of the map against highly rated for the most part. At this moment in time, Cougars and Co now pushing forward, getting aggressive over towards C. They want to close this round out and tie things up very, very quickly. Cougars inside. Oh, breaker. Oh, he doesn't find the kill either. Cougar survives only momentarily. Zul's there to pick it up. With trades left, right, and center, the domination starting to tick in. Don't need the music in my ears to see that that's what's happening, and Highly Rated will lock this one in. Now will be one apiece.
Great response. Just like that. And Team XENEX, you said it, have been doing really well in the plays down bottom in those team fights. I mean, just look at the kills again. Zul, 10 kills in 2 rounds. In 1 round on Harbor, he had 6 kills in the very first. And yeah, he's having a great day. It is safe to say. And these are the kind of slayers you really need to come up against highly rated. Zul has been a relatively new pickup for the team Breaker and Saki, along with Para. It's been about 3 weeks, I want to say, almost a month. But they've really come into their own, and this Team XENEX squad has been going from strength to strength. And to see them today, come back from a very difficult loss last week, not reaching top 8, and now giving a good game against highly rated. I think it's a great testament to their composure to come back this strong. And I can't wait to see what they do under this new org.
So far, so good. In fairness, Highly Rated are drawing it up here, and they did find 4 rounds in a row. Map number 1 on Harbor, but credit to XENEX, they've definitely found more than I thought they would. Highly Rated at times have blown away teams better than Team XENEX. And I mean blown away. 5-1, 5-0s. Been somewhat consistent. XENEX are definitely competing here, and as I said, they all die. But nonetheless, they're competing. It's 1-1. It's always been close rounds. Could have arguably sent us to a round number 9, at least on Harbor. So XENEX, even if they do go on to lose here, which I probably believe they will, still something to look forward to as time does move on, as the practice falls into place as well. And of course, finals coming up in a couple of weeks' time. Martian Cup making this push over towards 8. Waiting for the opportune moment, but at the same time, even if they don't want to make the push, the pressure may well be enough to win them the round. 70 seconds for that win condition. XENEX will use their flashes to get out. I wonder who from Highly Rated goes over there to defend against Para and Saki. Might not need to here. They actually might need to defend A in seconds. Zul finds a big, important kill. Dragons is going to fall as well after Saki drops him. Well played by Team XENEX to get out of that rut, it felt like.
Lovely break. Difficult play for Team XENEX to come out of their spawn like that. They were essentially contained both up top and down bottom against Europe's best team currently. They've got it back. They do have the win condition. Saki has to be careful he's not chased here. Good shots from Para though. Perfect. Back away from the corner as a player tries to dive in and get the kills back, or damage back. Para saved. 1 down. Another one will be taken out. Dragon should fall as well. Potential overextension here even for the COG side. I wonder if they go for this here. Not going to be the case. They'll hold out with 40 seconds to go. Again, a very big round. Team XENEX really need to take the chances here.
Waiting for the push to come out from Highly Rated. Gonna have to come through shortly. Flashes are out. They're on the way here, Toby.
Uh-oh. Saki's been taken down. You can see on the screen, red outlines flying across the center. Breaker's been dropped. Cougar's trying to follow up. Zul has to try and protect him. It is starting to crumble, though, unfortunately. For Team XENEX, Highly Rated are cleaning up. Overextending, 1 player down. They've got the B-hill already, and the score lead is in their favor at the closing moments. Very unfortunate state of affairs for Team XENEX. This is what I mean. You have to stay alive. You have to take your chances. You cannot be the one that gets taken down first. I believe it was Sarkster actually getting bodied over the wall, I want to say. Didn't quite catch that on the camera, but I'm assuming that's where he did fall. It just seemed like Swarm just flooded through the middle and the opposite lane. But they did the hard work to Team XENEX, and just like that, Highly Rated took advantage of a brief moment of opportunity and punished them for it.
And they were now looking to get things going. It's very hard to find these big rounds when it comes down to just punching through your opponent and finding a 3-cap. Like, we know that there's plenty of maps that can happen on, specifically ones like your Asylum, etc. But Exhibit, opposite end of the coin, really, isn't it? Very much one of those you have to methodically take your time. That's why I'm not a big fan sometimes. It can be a little slow, be a little dull in the little bouts of control that we do get in the mid-map.
Yeah, I think it's a map where you're either all in or you're all out, right? There's no middle ground because it's just too risky. Speaking of that, Zool, though, that was crazy from the inside. Excellent play, just turns and throws it through the smashed aquarium in front of him. What seems like, I want to say, an aquarium. Marsh, 1v2. Brilliant bouncing. Still not much damage his way. Para does find the last killer blow. And there we go. Team XENEX do win the B hill, courtesy of Zool's big in-send to help out. And this is what I mean. You have to be all in, all out, because if you're not making it work, you can just get in-sending like that as soon as you try to cap a hill.
Still done by Saki, though. Backs on down, waits for Dragons to smash his head in towards the rest of the Team XENEX. And can't find anything for that. And Team XENEX looking to try and find a little bit more here. Gonna make the push over towards A. Para hesitated for a second. XENEX looking to tie things up here. They've got numbers. Dragons need to see at least a kill from him. He's going to drop them down. Domination ticking in 6. There are going to be members of highly rated able to get here. That domination continues to tick as well. They just want to try and prolong this one. But I tell you what, that's a domination coming in for XENEX. 2-2. Doesn't feel quite as dramatic without the music nonetheless. But XENEX tie things up here.
Good job. Honestly, really, really good job. Look at Zool. 15 kills now. I believe 12 kills. I want to say that was Saki in the third position there. Point being, these individual star moments, like Zool's insend there, is making a huge difference in their ability to smash through this highly rated squad in these lower corridors. Of course, weapon placement-wise, it's not going to change much, so there isn't any like particular strategy you can go with. It really does come down to just hit your shots and take your chances. Team XENEX are finding them, but they do need to just hold out and close out the rounds. Remember, it could have been 3-1, honestly, if they were able to hold out in the previous round. So they're definitely, again, performing very well. 1v1. Marsha, Zool full red. Zool, well, he won't hold it. He'll try to get the in-send out for a less risky 1v, but Marsh does find the kill nonetheless and has the pinch on Saki. Much better from highly rated. They'll be able to clean up players, and yeah, it looks like a triple cap attempt, actually.
Looking that way, he said it doesn't happen very often. On Exhibit specifically, it's got a good chance of being locked in here. Zool could do with finding this fight, and he isn't going to be able to. They're just walking into what feels like the lion's den. Saki unable to quite get there, and all of a sudden, highly rated. Stick one on the board. Not very often we see one of them on Exhibit here, Toby.
No, you're right. There we go. Yeah, it was Para with 12 kills. No surprise there, actually. He was doing really well with the pushes also. But yeah, again, it comes down to that all-in or all-out mentality, highly rated. We're able to push on really aggressively from the get-go. Marsh, courtesy of him, finding the plays on Zool this time. We go back and forth. And now, let's see if anything changes up in that department.
Yeah, highly rated haven't been able to sort of stretch their legs in the way that they would want to, I would think.
Marsh has an incend as well this time. To compete with Zool's incend too.
Well, let's throw the fiery bombs at each other.
Tell you what. Oh, it's actually a flash. Big incend. Great read from Zool. Marsh tries to test his luck there with the aggression on Zool. Nice flash from Dragons. Not going to connect, though, actually. Zool goes really wide, playing it safe instead. Dragons in so much trouble here. Zool will not wait for his teammates to go wide and clean up his kill. And E-Hill captured as well. With one member down, they won't have the opportunity to push in for a triple. At least for now. I think the approach is essentially to get whatever kills left remaining. And that is Cougars on the left-hand side. Here comes Para going wide across the wall as far back as he can. Ideally, they don't want to let him get out, though, but I think it might be a bit too risky pushing this. Left hand, Dragons straight off spawn. They don't want to get chased out now with this damage. Dragons isn't having any of it. In fact, Cougars is the man to lead the way, find a Para, and that gives them access back into it. Nice. Zool wins his fight, though.
Yep. Very nice to know my Zool. Overextended just a little bit, and well, Zool might have just done the same here as well. Oh, he's very, very weak. He should be dead momentarily. I've got to say, not sure if that push needs to come through. Just frees up so much pressure on the highly rated side. Swarm win condition is there. As D&E do belong to highly rated. Breaker gets the better of Marsh, although revive is there from Dragons. The flashes are out as well. Breaker will be dead. Push not going to be able to quite come through here from highly rated. Probably will have to back him down on those strikers as one head first into Zool, and all of a sudden there's potentially a triple cap on the cards here. Para the only one left alive momentarily. Breaker off the respawn. Marsh waiting for the push to come out. Oh, he's very, very weak. Breaker's done well. Can this fight continue in the favor that it needs to for highly rated, though? It can. 3, 2, and 1. Zool not going to get there in time, although just got the ever so slightest of touches, but it makes no difference. Highly rated. 4-2 now. That's 2 dominations that come swinging on in within under 3 minutes. And highly rated now, 1 round away from that grand final once again.
I think that's the most scary component of this highly rated squad, and it was of Rated R, is just their ability to take opportunities with such swift aggression that it can pretty much always just end up being a triple if you're not careful. And that's kind of the repeated storyline of XENEX here today. They've done the hard work, they give a little bit too much damage to the other team, and they're punished dearly for it. It turns into a triple cap, and it could have been the other way. Honestly, the scoreline completely, it could have been 4-2 the other way, but no. Unfortunately, despite some individual star plays and some great moments from XENEX, they're this far down. They need to win 3 rounds in a row now just to get to a map number 3.
It's going to be tough. It really is. Para's going to be the first one to drop as well, and that just makes things so much more difficult. That Incend is not good enough to stop Dragons ultimately getting a hold of control, and it feels like this game, at the start of each map, XENEX have been there and they have been competing, but as time has went on, highly rated of digesting and figure out exactly what XENEX have been doing. When they figure them out, they haven't lost a round. It just feels like it's just too easy. It's got to be read a little bit better from Para there. He does spot the both of them. Dragons follows round with a second into the main map. Highly rated, looking to send themselves to the grand final again here, Toby.
It does seem like that now. Saki, though, great Seeker man up top. Could be the start of something special, perhaps, if they can push on down bottom. But yeah, if I look at the overhead map, 5 and 6 there on our screens, that's Dragons and Cougars are pushed so far up, looking to take down the players off spawn. Saki in a little bit of trouble here. Should be a 1v2, in fact, against him. Zool does find Dragons. Cougars trying to get out himself. Full red, he has to commit now. Does find the up A. My goodness me, that was close to giving Breaker as well. Ooh, he'll be happy about that he's still walking on his 2 feet there. But meanwhile, Zool has got E-Heal back.
Yep, not too far off a 1-cap win for highly rated, though. I think it's around 15 seconds or so. So very much within their remit to change this round fairly quickly. Oh, Zool, has he been caught out or just about? Cougars had to make sure that shot landed, or he was the one going back to the respawn's queue, but he now locked in here for highly rated. 26 seconds and dropping. Cougars and Kona just trying to push this out, just trying to make this pressure not count from Team XENEX. They have quite a lot of it down this left-hand side. Cougars going to have to back on down. The rest of the team here to help out as well. Saki's the first to drop. If you're XENEX, though, you're being pinned back, but you have to go forward. It's a bad spot to be in. They're in a bad spot in this round, meaning they're in a bad spot on the map and the series. Highly rated will get themselves another grand final date against Maradona once again. A new look side. But can they do 8 in a row? We're going to find out very, very shortly. 2-0 to highly rated in the semi-finals.
Yep, GG's comes from Breaker in the chat. Brilliant job, honestly, from the side of highly rated. You see Zool finishing with 20 kills there against Europe's top team. Really, really good performance from him this whole match. And honestly, Team XENEX, they played very well for the most part. It's just they were outclassed at the end of the day. Those opportunities, they didn't take them. Meanwhile, when they were presented highly rated, they said, you know what, we're going to actually take advantage of those moments, and we will reflect that in the scoreline. And that's kind of the story, right? Harbor, a little bit of a slip up with the weapon placement of the drop shot top. Not too happy with that myself. Would love to see a little bit more experimentation against Europe's top team, honestly, rather than going for the standard. Let's go all in on the E-Hill instead. Other than that, though, yeah, I'm pretty happy with how Team XENEX played. it's Europe's top team for a reason.
100%, 100%. Fantastic performance from the boys on highly rated and looking good for them. Heading into another grand final, they will be going up against Maradona, but with Pele alongside them. Let's see how that one turns out after this very quick break. Don't go anywhere. The finals coming up after this. Ladies and gents, welcome back to the Open Series, and we have the grand finals coming up. An interesting one as well here, Toby. Expected one, has to be said, after we've seen how the bracket laid itself out. But here we go. We have Maradona and Pele taking on highly rated, or Polo 24, the team who have dominated all the way so far. Maradona have kind of been there, not quite up to par with this squad, but the addition of Crimsons could make this juicy.
Yeah, that's who everyone is looking out for, right? Is that one roster change from Krem. See if he can just bring up the team from the rear and make sure that they can perform with a top team in Europe currently. I do wonder how much of an impact he'll have. Clearly, he made a great impact against the new team of Team 123. In terms of how much of an impact, not sure, but they definitely seem really, really good, did Maradona. And maybe even influence a little bit of a change of strategy as Pains, etc., was just flying up top, which was new on Asylum compared to what we've seen before from them. Yeah, I'm curious. We've had a little bit of a break now, have Maradona, maybe cool down a little bit. I hope they've kept their thumbs warm and on the joysticks in a shotgun lobby, what have you, because they're going to need to be playing off the chart here, off the scale. And I just hope they can bring that same level of confidence in those shotgun fights on those initials as they did earlier against Phelpsy, Craze, TJ, and Hydron.
Yep, absolutely. It was a good performance against the boys on 1, 2, 3. But let's have a look at the bracket to see how the rest of their tournament looked before that semi-final. Of course, a very good performance by Maradona and Pele all the way through. Inazuma, Italy in round of 16. Academy Reunited in their quarterfinal, then semi-final up against 1, 2, 3, which is how they find themselves here in this grand final. Highly rated, though, since Rubber Ducky Mafia always catching me off guard. And then Team XENEX in it. It has to be said, pretty highly contested semi-final there. It wasn't necessarily as plain sailing as we thought it was going to be for highly rated, but they get here to the grand final nonetheless, Toby. But still, it's not necessarily one of those games they'd be looking back on and saying, right, okay, yeah, we played at our best.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that, actually, because you'd think that would be the semi-final that would be a lot more dominant from the strong favorite, but no, it's the other way around, right? It was actually Maradona that had a really easy time, it seemed like, against Team 123. We thought that game could have gone all the way, maybe even Team 123 win that, right? But no, in the end, it was actually Team XENEX that performed the best out of those two teams in their respective semifinals. And yeah, highly rated, weren't playing too well. They weren't playing incredible, right, on Harbor, it's safe to say, at least in the first half, right? Yes, Team XENEX were the main players in that, in influencing those round counts, but no, maybe highly rated just aren't, playing at their usual best. Perhaps we could, theorize upon that. Meanwhile, Maradona and Pele had the best semi-final I think they've had in a very, very long time, with their all-star pickup in Pele, right, in Crimson. So yeah, curious to see how this one plays out. I'm hoping for a map number 3. I'm hoping Maradona and Pele have got that energy now from Crimson's, that new roster change that will really take it to highly rated and perhaps stop highly rated from going absolutely flawless here since their roster change in week 2.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you have to say, like, Crimsons have been in that HPJC squad who have put them close a couple of times, but we always sort of question their practice. How much were they putting in during the week? It felt like they were just coming on during tournament time and showing up, and still they were pushing highly rated a lot of the time. But I don't know. It feels like, well, apparently Crimson's was the one who was putting the most time in. So if he can put time in with this Maradona squad with Paynes by his side, then all of a sudden they can become very, very dangerous. But I believe we're going over towards Asylum, and I believe the game has nearly got itself ready to go. So let's know in the chat who you think is going to take this one. It should be an interesting one. It's very often that we come into a grand final, and I'll not lie. I'll think, right, well, we'll probably be done here in half an hour or so, because highly rated have been just that every single week. Looking so strong. They're looking to make it A tier, Toby. They may well still do it, but I'm interested to see what Maradona bring to the table with Pele alongside them, although I don't think any of Crimson's stats have been padded over the years in European gears specifically. I like to think that this guy really will bring a little bit more to this squad, but can he bring enough? That's the question.
That's it, right? I mean, Maradona for Asylum for a map number 1. Let's talk about that for a second. Really, really strong are they in the first half? Typically, Maradona and Pele, and they were really strong in the second half earlier. So maybe this is a good pick for them, but we'll have to wait and see. Dragon's already performing from the get-go, flying through the middle, doing what he does best.
Looking good so far. Marsh will find this fight over towards B as well. Crisis next to potentially fall, but Marsh backs on down, knows he has a Dragons to release towards Crisis, but Crisis releases him from this life. Marsh now making a push. Oh, nice snap. Very well played. He'll get a hold of B as well, and it's a good kickoff for highly rated. The train doesn't even make noise now, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's dangerous.
It's pretty quiet on our end, yeah.
Is that just a spectator side?
I think it may be just because the train is quiet in general that we haven't caught that. We'll have to wait to confirm. Maybe it is a spectator side also, but here we are. Highly rated are leading in score, but the Italians are fighting back fast. Marsh with the overextension also finding a kill on Crisis too, who had some otherworldly reaction shots to start things off here down bottom. Really nice from him. Playing as the brand new Victor Hoffman character. Returning to the Gears series, this op. Just this past week. Oh, hello. Great shots from Cougars. Brilliant stuff. Such a difficult situation to deal with. Left hand as well, under pressure. Good stuff from him.
Domination did tick through a couple of seconds there. I know you didn't hear it, but nonetheless it did. See, was being capped up by highly rated, but a gunfight's won over there by the side of Maradona and Pele, and a crucial one at that. Highly rated, though, have pretty much been in control the majority of this round, although it is still fairly young. Ticking over towards that 200-point mark. Flash is going to come in on the Dragons. That might allow Maradona and Pele to maybe stretch their legs over towards B just that little bit. Dragons will go down, but will Crisis follow? Yes, he will. Cougars will come round. Fantastic stuff by the side of highly rated. This should be a lock that's round in based on this here, Toby. Looking good. We're getting rid of Crimson's, though. My God, he's done well. That's 2 kills he's found over there. The train's either side. Big players out of Crimson's.
Yeah, truly so. 20 seconds and a big score deficit. It's clear as day that Maradona need to fly for this triple cap. But Cougars has taken down Paynes. That's a star player gone. Crisis will follow as well. Bounces is lurking on the front door, but he has not got the resources to get through. Oh, hello. Dragons tries the cheeky mantle, and Crimson's like, no, what are you doing? Finds the second, he'll get the third. That's just great shotgunning. I know it was the end of the round. I know highly rated probably weren't playing that to their best ability, but you gotta respect it. Good round nonetheless from highly rated. Really well played from them.
Yep, nicely done. Very nicely done. Just sort of stretch and move where they need to. Maradona and Pele, though, not too far off, has to be said. Not too far off. A couple of exchanges go their way, and all of a sudden it's a different round. But you can say that about any round, I suppose. Nonetheless, though, Crimson's with a couple of big moments. Can he find some more to help his team on that one step further. Still, only the first round. Maradona and Pele looking to try and get back into this one. The fight over towards Trax will initiate.
Yep. Marsh has found Pains again. He's got his number. Marsh has found Crisis again as well. He's been the difference maker so far for highly rated, breaking down the advantage that Maradona and Pele typically have, and that's flying through the train tracks and taking map control through that route. Look at this. Cougars is flying through as well. He finds one. Bounces will crumble as Dragons does push on as well. Pains immediately eliminated off spawn, and this is the trouble. This is the issue when you have when you have Pains being taken down constantly, when you don't have that constant numbers advantage, you aren't able to just use your shotguns to get out of different situations and force the plays. This is what happens. And highly rated, this is what we mean when we needed players like these to stop the Italian steam train through the map, is just to win their shotgun battles and stop them there, and then, in fact, just turn it on the head and for them to get the triple cap instead. It's almost like a game of execution at that point, right? When both teams really do just ensure triple cap will come through if you get a really successful initial.
Oh, okay. There it is. Maradona and Pele want to force this fight up towards entrance, as the drop shot is now there. Let's see if that will change things up for them. From strikers, and well, everybody's partying over here. There's only one player that isn't up top, and that's the one from highly rated. That's going to be Cougars. Irrelevant of that, it looks like they're going to get out with it. Dragons is the one tagged up. He's going to get out momentarily. Cougars just trying to distract as best he can. Marsh is going to drop, but I believe Dragons gets out with it.
Yeah, just about. Oh, that's a lovely drop. Active as well. That was going to hit, and he didn't have a shotgun as well, Chris, so he needed to make sure that hit. Otherwise, he would have to run all the hills, quite literally, perhaps. Here's Crimson's finding strikers. Nice little pinch from Dragons, still lurking, still putting in that work. Bounces in a little bit of trouble, but the train might save him here. It can force the 1B, and he does find it.
Oh,
Dragons just have to watch through the cracks of the train as it went through, and you probably noticed it. The domination came on through.
Oh wow! Oh my goodness, mate!
I did not notice that. Did you, Chris?
No.
All right.
Said you probably noticed, and I was like, well,
no. Well, that's not me.
I did not. They need to put those sounds back in, bro.
Yeah, please. We need a soundboard or something.
Matt needs to sort it out. It's a soundboard.
I mean, no one was prepared for this situation, Chris. We didn't expect it.
What Matt could do, he could go back, watch the other VODs, get the sound from it, put it over the top.
Jesus.
I'm sure he could.
I mean, he's a wizard producer, that's for sure, but sounds like...
Ooh. Quick drop shot from Pains. Goes in, fires it out, gets out. They're not the best of spots here, though. They are being pinned in, but the rated will back down.
I think Pains would like a shotgun back, to be honest. He'd rather 2 power weapons than 1, right?
Finds a second kill with it. I think the thing is, for Pains in these sort of situations, it's like, pick it up, just don't allow the other team to have a hold of it. Rather than, look, even if he finds nothing there, it's better than the other team having a hold of it, isn't it? On those situations, just fly in, pick it up, get out. Gets out, finds 2 kills. Perfect situation. One played by Maradona and Pele.
I think it's a lot more effective a strategy of swapping your shotgun for a power weapon these days. If you did that in Gears 1, everyone would just look at you like, what are you doing? Like, do not do that. But no, it really works out a lot of these team fights with how effective the shotgun is, how quickly you can up-A someone, etc., etc. So, here we go, though. Look at this. Hills are changing fast. Crisis pushing on in. He does get caught out, though. Cougars finds him. Dragons does get the B hill back. Pains is lurking in the middle as well. Maradona are being awfully aggressive here for these home hills.
Waiting for the push now as the aggression coming through. Well played. Marsh and Co need to get back in. They still have that trump card of B in their back pocket. Marsh will find a kill onto Crisis as well. Now, here come the rest as Crimson's gets round behind his old teammate. And now the push up with the B is going to have to start to come through. Dragons have won an important fight over there. Maradona and Pele very much in control of round number 4 here. Cougar's going to break over towards A, though, which will just slow down the push of Maradona and Pele. Yeah, nicely done by Cougars, my goodness me. And I mean, we say the Italian, Nasha's hurt.
Down him from there, no problem.
I mean, my goodness.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. Marsh has got the drop shot as well, Chris. Triple cap was blinking for a second. I think one. Oh, Cougar's still lurking.
I mean, I don't know if you needed to make that push with Marsh there with the drop. The push over towards B is going to come in from Maradona. Pele, Marsh with the heavy artillery is on the way over. Pistol shot's going to come on through. Strikers may not need the help right now, though, as he has now been down. Marsh making the push forward. Him and Karim waiting for each other. It's a hell of a shot to find the down, but unfortunately not quick enough. Maradona and Pele will get back into this one. It was a potential triple cap blinking for highly rated. They have a chance to tie the game up here. Oh, B 3-1 down initially. Pains, that is disgusting on the Cougars. Dart's going now as well. Has to be careful not to deal with his teammate, but Maradona and Pele just spring to life towards the end of the round. And it should be theirs because of it. Dragon's going to go down. Pains very, very smooth as per usual. It's like butter. Maradona and Pele. 2-2 now.
Yeah, excellent trades there from the Swarm side on the home hill. And a lovely response. Remember, it wasn't too long ago that Cougars and Marsh were going for that triple in the enemy's home hill with a drop shot. So for them to come all the way back, win on the tracks, and then OE off that, brilliant. Really good. And we see 2-2 scoreline come onto the scoreline at the second half. And look at that. Again, because of the drop shot placement earlier, one team has a shot grenade, one team still on the retro lancer. So a little bit of a disadvantage, and it's actually highly rated with that advantage with that shot grenade. Will Maradona play aggressive, though? Yes, they will again. I love this, Chris. They've stopped with the passive play. Crimson's leading the charge, actually. It's not Pains this time around, but they've built up enough space for that drop shot to be picked up. I think that was Crisis. Yeah, Crisis was picked up. We'll pick the drop shot up. He's been revived. Look at this, a pinch coming through for Cougars. He's trying to get through it, split the players up a little bit, but Maradona and Pele have dealt with it. And, oh, hello? Oh, no. Dragons is lurking. Drop shot save. Nope, that's been taken down. Dragons been able to find the perfect player to kill off in the back. And somehow highly rated, still contesting for the point.
It's just about surviving there. Will just about get out as well. As mentioned, though, we are in the second half, so this fight up top really does mean that little bit more. Cougars here could be the cleanup crew to help them as well. Marsh will find bounces all of a sudden. This push towards F can come through very, very quickly. Crisis couldn't hide because of the push coming in from Rails as well. He will down Cougars. He is now back here to help the rest of his team. He's trying his best to just survive as long as possible. Crimson's going to drop as well. This feels like a domination about to take on through. It is going to tick in. There you go. Highly rated. 3-2 now. We're going to try and get something going in the second half after a very, very close first one.
Yeah, that was really something awesome from highly rated there. Two flanks, one after the other, and it just... Maradona were having such a difficult time with dealing them both. Cougars was almost able to pick up a kill. And then you have, of course, Dragons find the one kill he needs on Crisis, who had one drop shot remaining on his back, admittedly. And now, nothing too different, of course. Shot grenade for both teams going into the up top fight. And again, Maradona, they had the better initial that time, and it took rated highly... I almost said rated R there, Chris. Highly rated. Did an incredible job flanking. It's a fair
mistake to make, in fairness, Toby. It's the X-rated R, and they've got themselves an org with the name rated, with the word rated in it. I mean...
Just one big troll to the casters, I think.
You know what? I feel like they've done it on purpose.
I feel like they've gone out and just Google search orgs. And they looked for the word rated. Imagine Esports orgs with rated at the front.
Comes up at the top.
And then they're just like, "Yep, we found the perfect home,
there
boys.
We go.
This is the one."
Convenient. Strikers doesn't even need to change his name. Dragons and Strikers both dropping though as the drop shot goes over towards Maradona and Pele, but Cougars crucially is going to win this fight. Didn't quite lock in D though. We'll go down, but let's save his team a little bit of time, at least. Maradona and Pele have very much been in these rounds though. Pains playing home street. Okay. He's playing it smartly.
Do they know?
Has he just
Strike?
been spotted?
Yeah. I think they're wondering where the fourth is because they can't count him, but they don't know exactly where he is. That's why Strikers is lurking right now, keeping distant from the potential corners he could be on.
They're probably expecting the flank. Yeah, look at them. Look at them. They're looking for him.
They know something's up. The numbers just don't add up. They keep putting the math through the brain, but now, there we go. It all makes sense suddenly as Pains appears.
Pickupp going to come in towards F as well with a flash onto him. Strikers, can he deal with him? Not
quite.
Spot on. Yeah, very well played by Pains. He was patient, but where are the rest of highly rated going to go with this info? Well, to the respawn queue for the most part. Dragons will fall. Cougar's the one he wants to answer back. Now he's going to get pinched with Marsh there. It looks, I mean, what is that?
That was insane from Cougars.
What
so well
is
played.
That? He is going to fall, as is Marsh. And E will go over towards Maradona and Pele, but having a look towards the other side of things, actually highly rated. I've had to make this push over towards E. They haven't locked in their home hill. The domination, ticking the domination.
That's through as well. Yeah.
It's going to come through, although are they going to be able to get to F? Not quite. Maradona and Pele tie things up at 3 apiece here.
It's 3-3. Honestly, Maradona are looking very, very good. Everything is just going as planned right now. They've changed their initial up straight away, it seems like. As soon as Krim has entered the team, it just seems like, right, listen, boys, Silent's not good. Let's sort it out. And they've done that. They're playing aggressive. They're getting the picks and the drops. Highly rated are having to play out with their minds just to keep themselves in it at the hill. Meanwhile, Pains is doing work on the home street as well, causing havoc. I mean, everything is working out for them right now. Highly rated have their work cut out for them. They really do. Insend in Cougar's hand. This is the change-up that they needed. They're going to be ultra-aggressive. Dragons quick picks the drop shot, but the shot grenade does get the down on Dragons inside the door. Crimsons might be looking for a potential overextension here, trying to get that high IQ play, and Cougars getting that insend to keep them in it. That drop is sitting there. There we go. It's quick picked. Did he backpack that? No, he didn't. He's still out. No shotgun. Does it matter? Got it out in the end, and the drop shot will not get a kill. Perhaps should have waited for an active.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to free up some pressure. Active's there now. Spread gets the shots in towards bounces. This will result in highly rated getting a hold of E, but Crisis over towards D. It always feels like Maradona and Pele just have another option, don't they? Lose the fight on the other side of things. It just feels as if they're in a spot to do something else. And that is getting rid of the drop shot player. And well, complete waste in the drop shot, but Dragon's round behind. Can he do the unthinkable here? Not going to happen. E going to be locked in. I don't think anyone from highly rated is going to be able to get there just about for Strikers, but he needs to postpone as best he can. Come the rest of the team, they should be able to make it there in time as well, but can they clean up? Marsh and Co. in danger of going behind here. In big danger of going behind. Cougars and Co. going to start falling down as well. Dragons momentarily the last alive. Has to back on down. Nobody respawning for a few seconds. This domination 6 seconds away. Highly rated have to get in. Strikers has to do it all alone. Finds one. Maybe it'll postpone this just a little bit, and it just continues going. The problem is here for highly rated, even if they get out, look at the score in the top left corner. Looks as if they're going to slow down the push of Maradona and Pele, but which way this fight is going to go will be crucial. Bounces finds one off the respawn. Cougar's going to drop as well. Dragons may well follow. Well played by Maradona and Pele. Surely this time around they'll lock it in. Fair play to Maradona and Pele. They will find themselves on map point. The consistency of those shotguns towards the end is to be applauded. 4-3.
Oh, most certainly. Claps all around for these guys, because that was just so excellently played. Because you notice as soon as they started losing numbers on that home hill, right? They didn't just try to hold their shots and try to just eke the cap out. No, they backed off the hill, waited for the spawns to come fully at them, and they held their shot from cover and played their distance. Of course, they're used to playing aggressive, right, Chris? They're used to trying going all in on those triple caps. And I was worried for a second, hey, do not get taken down on their home hill, because highly rated will throw that into a triple cap faster than you can blink. And no, they didn't. They held back, they stayed alive, and then they re-engaged and played amazingly with those shotguns. 4-3 now, and Maradona on the verge of taking map number 1.
Very, very close to doing so. And Maradona win this fight down low. Crisis just head down and flying. Dragons is able to answer back. It's momentarily Dragons left all alone. That drop shot goes over to Crimson's. Question marks to be asked over highly rated this evening, it has to be said. Or is everybody else just starting to get there? Are they starting to get a little bit complacent? Drop shot through the smoke. Strikers is going to go down. Hard fight for Cougars to take. He'll have to back down.
Not able to chase his Crimsons. Meanwhile, it's this time highly rated who are working up the home straight. First in this half, it seems like. Lovely kill from Bounces, cleaning one up there. Keeping the numbers in their favor for sure up top. And Marsh has had to run underneath to the safety. The arch below. Now, a little bit of a reset as every player gets off respawn and looks to make plays up top. Incense perhaps will be here soon. There's the strikers going down. They're trying to follow up a highly rate. They're so committed to this push. They find one, trading kills out through the smoke. Cougars finds a crucial kill on another, and Crimson should fall. Somehow get a kill out of this situation. Well played from him. And that should keep highly rated at bay from overextending. Wow. A lot of trouble for Crisis there.
Yeah. But he's done his job, hasn't he? Even if he falls here. He's done a good enough job. As you said, it prevents that overextension, doesn't it? Can't really just be pushing home hills. If you fall there, you're in a bad spot. Not only a bad spot here, though, as they seem to be winning these gunfights. Crimsons will come through, though, and Bounces will clean up the kill on the Dragons. Has to be said, for all that we talk about Maradona and Pele and how strong they can be, a lot of it is sometimes down to Pains and what he can do. He's been quiet. And yet still they find themselves 4-3 up. Very much adaptations potentially coming through from Maradona and Pele is the influence of Crimsons. Really making that much of a difference to them. Crimsons get a hold of the drop shot as well. 28 seconds win condition, not just for the round, but for the map. Drop shot goes out and Strikers will fall. Maradona and Pele happy to hold 20 more seconds. I'll tell you what, highly rated are nowhere to be seen here.
Wow.
We've asked time and time again, Toby, do they bleed? Indeed, they do. Crimsons may well lock it in with that kill on the Dragons. Cougars falls as well. That's done. That's it. We have a series on our hands. Maradona and Pele take map number 1.
What more can you say? Maradona have come to play. Every single individual was just firing all cylinders there. Crimson's actually finishing as the MVP. And it seems to breathe a lot of life into this team, actually. Their inner confidence is starting to come out. Look at that. Crimson's with 27 kills this time round. Not Pains as we usually see. And it just seems that perhaps against a team like highly rated, you just need that veteran experience on your roster, that little edge to push you over the line that gives you that advantage in those team fights. And it seems to be working out really well for them, right? Crimson seems to be at home and really enjoying himself, clearly performing as an individual and doing his job as a teammate. And I think it's a testament to their inner confidence, right? These Italians play this game as much as anyone. The amount of times I see them playing in ELOs, in 3v3 SSGs, and 1v1s, 2v2s, right? They play the game constantly. And Pains clearly has had so much confidence in the Italians for so long in this split. Finally, they've been able to really flex their shotguns and really push in against the top players in Europe. And it really goes to show that just with a little bit of a team tweak, a really viable one that would seem to be on the cards for a lot of the time in the split, actually, according to rumors, can make all the difference. And I think now we perhaps we see a rival, the closest rival we've seen in a while for highly rated.
Perhaps we're going to be seeing Vanguard coming up next, and it is a map I really do like for highly rated. I haven't seen them really skip a beat on this map specifically. I believe it was 5-0 against Maradona last week, albeit minus Crimson's, who was the big performer in that one. So, that can maybe make a difference in this scenario too. However, it's still a map I like for the squad of highly rated. It's still a map I think they will win. I believe we'll probably see a map number 3 here. Oh, honestly, I really do. But that was surprising out of Maradona and Pele. That even the way that they won it, it felt like in some of the rounds that they did lose, they were still in some form of control. And it sometimes is felt for Maradona that it's like, right, okay, we have to rely on Pains doing something here to steal a round off a team. like highly rated, but now it's turned itself around where they have Crimson's, that other X factor. He's somebody who can play his life as well. He's a different player to Pains, like Dragons, etc., etc. He's somebody who will push in, he will find the smart kills, but he'll never sacrifice his life unnecessarily. He's very much somebody who will drop back. And maybe Maradona, that was their pacing issue. Maybe he was somebody just sort of sitting and chilling a little bit more, but who can still find those kills at the front. Maybe that was the missing piece of the puzzle. But right now, it's looking as if that piece is being filled. Crimson's looking very, very good on this roster. I do believe we're going to be heading to Vasco in just a second. So yeah, I don't know what your thoughts are if you're on the same wavelength as me on that one, but it just feels as if he is sort of slotting in to that spot that they haven't necessarily had filled for a while.
I think so. I think it's just as I said, I mentioned the confidence earlier. I think they're really feeling themselves at this point in time. Yep. But I agree. Maybe it's just given them that extra little experience, as I mentioned, that ability to perform against a top team and have that extra voice, that extra brain to really organize the team, organize these incredible pushes that the Italians are known for into one cohesive unit that can really see them through and up there, the chance of success with these pushes, because you don't lose any shotgun ability, right? If anything, you gain it, because Crimson's really is in the top 5, I would argue, for best shotguns in Europe currently. And to just really solidify this squad and really up the quality a little bit across the 4 with that pickup, it really is a star pickup. It really is a really big transfer, if you will. And I think Maradona and Pele are perhaps an evolved team now.
Perhaps. And they're actually going to find all the initial downs by the looks of things. They win the fight convincingly over towards C, and, well, it's just about swung in the favor of highly rated over towards B, because it really had to. Haynes is going to find one, though. Now has help as the extension has come back through from C. They will secure B for it, but unfortunately will lose C. That initial domination was on the cards, but couldn't win the fight at B quick enough.
Good job. Again, Maradona and Pele performing in these initials. And I think that's kind of been their bread and butter. And when you see them win in this area, they tend to just really do amazingly compared to when they don't. And I'm happy they're being aggressive like they were in Asylum. Should keep at it with Pains at the helm. Not able to find that kill just yet. Crisis tries to clean up. Yeah, on the B hill, not going to find anything. But yeah, that's the game plan, I think, for Maradona and Pele. They have to win the initial against highly rated, put them on the back foot from the start, and really leverage their ability, their winning factor of these shotguns off the start.
Maradona and Pele continue where they left off. A domination may be in the offing here, especially if a fight can be won towards C. Has been won towards C. They can lock in B as well. That's a domination. It should be in. I think there's only one person who can potentially stop it. That's Dragons. He will be able to. Crimson's only able to capture on his own, of course, which is what slowed things down there. The damage feels like it's already been done here. 203, 100, and that 100 ain't moving. Highly rated, currently getting zilch on the board and having to run it very, very quickly over towards A to save this round.
Oh, for sure. Grim, great shots as well on the enemy's home hill. Highly rated are not in this round whatsoever, but double the score as it closes out. And highly rated now, I mean, Vasgar is a good map for them historically. They've done pretty well on this for the most part out of all the top teams. But so have Asylum, have they on Asylum as well. Remember, they were incredible in the train tracks as well in that first half. And so now highly rated will perhaps be questioning themselves, what should we do? Are we going to just keep playing the same way and not really consider any weapon placement changes, or are we going to play a little bit different from the get-go and not risk playing this vanilla gears that didn't work out on Asylum? You can see them. They're actually considering something perhaps on that B hill there. Strikers was lurking over that, but now they go for the ball talk this round. Test, the water, if you will, on Vasgar with opposing sides, given how asymmetric it is. But they will be questioning themselves, I think, Chris. They'll be thinking in the back of their minds, yeah, hey, this isn't ideal. We are rarely one map down after map number 1, especially on a map like Asylum, and boy, are they playing well.
Really are. And I think one thing to note is, highly rated have drop maps. They have drop maps, specifically to HPJC. Multiple maps. They're being very, very close to losing series before. but it definitely feels like Maradona and Pele are not just here to take a map. It feels like they're very much in contention to take this series. Right now, though, highly rated. Not going to be pinned back in just a little bit. Maradona and Pele will get a hold of their home hill by the looks of things, although Crimsons would like to help out with this fight beforehand. He's not helping out a lot, though, I'll be honest with you. He hasn't really hit many bullets here, but I mean, Crimson, he's going to hit one.
There we go.
I mean, he might as well just capture the point.
I think we've been bigging him up so much, he thought he should temper expectations a little bit. I don't know.
Possibly, yes.
But nonetheless, you know, the end result here is a double cap for Maradona and Pele right now. Dragons is on his own. I'm not sure why he's pushed so early here. He's on his own until Marsh eventually got to that cover. That's confusing to me, but Pains will take advantage, and he'll actually use that to fly at Marsh, try and get to his cover. The pinch comes through quickly from Crimsons as well as they change over the hills. Maradona and Pele take control of the home hill. Ooh, good shot on him.
We'll find a big kill, yeah. Still, though, highly rated. Only getting points over towards B. Looking at the landscape of the map, there's a big fight going on the other side of things as well. Number 6, he's going to drop, and that's actually going to be Cougars. They're now beat in the control of Maradona and Pele. Well, they have lost 8. Still, though, bodies are there to deal with the push that comes through towards C, which is on its way. Maradona and Pele with the lead and with the control. Watch for the flash out. This kind of needs to work for highly rated here. They could be in a position where they go 2-0 down. Still, quite a bit of the round left to go. Good lance of fire coming through from Marsh as well. Revive's going to come through. Crimson's going to drop. Crisis follows. Dragons is going to take some bullets from the other side of things, but it's not going to make a tiny bit of difference of what happens over towards C. Pushing over towards B, started coming through here as well. Maradona and Pele just sending one over towards C. Somebody you would trust to win a 1v2, and that is Pains. Can't really do much from this position, though. They've been pinned in here. The fight over towards B is won by highly rated as well. This is much more like it from them.
Great shot from Marsh, that. Difficult to pull off, but he catches Crimsons at the right time. Score-wise, highly rated will win off 2. Look how neck and neck the score is. He's not going to get downed either. That could have been the opener for Maradona and Pele. Now, flashbang goes in. Pains will get downed in the process, though. Not looking good for them. Lancers keeping them at bay. The chain revive won't hold out forever. Bounces falls elsewhere. This will be a highly rated round as we go one apiece here on Vazgar.
Very well played by highly rated. It has to be said, it felt like they were behind for the majority of that round. A lot of it was controlled by Maradona and Pele, and that one is something they could look at after this and think, oh, okay, well, maybe that could have slipped away from our hands a little bit. Retro is probably going to go down on his side.
That's the case, yeah. Again, after that round, highly rated, not changing anything up. Maradona and Pele sticking to their guns also. So we go back to the round 1 sides. Pains playing the tank. Will he literally fly at Marsh here on that left-hand cover, his old teammate? I'm sure they'll be looking for it. Flashbang over the top. No one going on that. Going to try and get the cap. Crisis almost getting it, but have to get back to safety, and this is what it comes down to now. Pains' flashbang gone. So won't be able to use that to try and make a play. Meanwhile, it's pretty quiet on the other end if you cast your eyes to the top right. Number 6 has pushed up quite a bit, though. It's Cougars. Here comes Pains. Defensive flashbang from Marsh. Both players stunned, nothing coming of it. Crisis does utilize that opportunity to cap the B hill, though, so job done for them. Now they can just hold out.
And from Pains, trying to help his teammates out. Strikers making a push over towards a retro, pinning him down. He's going to get a hold of A now for his team. Feels like Maradona and Pele have slowed down a little bit. They've been maybe forced into it. We know how good highly rated are on Vazgar. Difficult one.
Yeah. Vazgar can be a little bit choke pointy here at this hill and the tank with limited options, but eventually you just need to go in and go. I think the slower pace does actually favor highly rated. Maradona are the ones who want to keep it chaotic and allow the shotguns to do the talking.
to come through here. Maradona and Pele have to make this work. 3 around the cover, and now they will get rid of strikers. Cougars waiting to maybe catch one off guard on the way out, and I feel like Cougars isn't long for this world.
No.
As he then now falls. Fight though on the other side of things. Highly rated are going to get a hold of B, but they did have the numbers over there. Maradona transition their numbers over towards C. Shots coming in towards Crimson's from the other side of things as well. Decap will do them for now. Need to formulate something here though. The cover offering them maybe an option to get a hold of C. Not going to happen. Cougars gets aggressive. Has the rest of his team coming up off respawn as well. It's a very aggressive push here from Maradona and Pele that kind of needs to work out. Cougars in a bad spot. They get rid of him and bounces. Finds a couple. Crimson's is obviously there to help out as well, and Crimson's hightailing it over towards B. Dragons is the only one here. Hiya, mate. Remember me. Ooh. Crimson's and Bouncers get that one done. Yes, they will lose C, but they get a hold of control of B. The scoreline is dead even, so that win condition will be cut directly in half. Maradona and Pele in the driving seat here in round number 3.
Now they just need to stay alive, Chris. It's all Maradona and Pele need to do. And that's why Highly Rated have left their home hill in favor of pushing up for this triple. One more fall. Make that a second, and that's it. That's Maradona and Pele taking that round.
Lovely round.
As even Crisis picked up one for good measure over at the B hill. Great job. Maradona and Pele are keeping it together despite the slowed down game, despite Highly Rated playing a little bit more sophisticated. Over on the home hills, Maradona and Pele win out that war of attrition in the end.
Yeah, I just really like that push over towards the C side. Just very, very aggressive, and they just lancer away, and the shotgun's doing the business up front as well. Very, very impressive from Maradona and Pele here. Highly rated. I don't know what to make of it here. I'll maybe hold my tongue until the end, as there is still a lot of games that want to be played. But so far, so good, has to be said. From the point of Maradona and Pele. And this is kind of what we want to see. We don't want Highly Rated to go in and be completely invincible. We know they haven't been. They have dropped maps. They have had close games. But as of recent, it has very much been a Highly Rated show. It's a big incent from Crisis as well. That's going to force them away. But it just feels as if Maradona and Pele, I said, they're here to do more than just take a round and take a map. Very much putting the pressure on. They found the kills there, but haven't been able to find a great deal else for it. Still sort of stuck in C. It's a point that you can really get yourself caught in a trap in. They've extended out towards B now, though, Toby, and something could maybe happen there.
Yeah. And for the side of Highly Rated, you'd expect, or at least hope, that you can do something on this side. Meanwhile, Pains, he's going to get down in the process. Little Bounces looking to chain revive through once more. Marsh still putting in the shots. Dragons has to get a little bit closer than that, and here he comes. Bounces a little bit red. Dragons will follow up. Pains hasn't been able to get that kill he so desperately needs, and so the numbers are not going to be in their favor. Marsh and Dragons will choose to overextend. Strikers and Cougars, meanwhile, winning on this side too. This should be a triple cap. Marsh can hold out on the break on the C. There we go. The kills are cleaned up on Crimson's. Pains and Bounces, here they come to try and rescue this round. But no, they will fall too. 3 seconds ago, Crisis, all left down to him. There you have it. Highly Rated still in this. On a very high impact round that was, from play after play, straight into a triple cap as we're at the first half conclusion.
Yeah, one of those where the round is... I mean, Maradona and Pele did well on the initials, really, but they just didn't find anything for it. Not ideal. Highly rated. Surely not, I was going to say. Not very often you see anything creative, is it?
No. Not at all. 2-2 open, I think, for a lot of these teams. No one's really actually attempted a drop or something in the middle, right? In escalation, you can't run out the sides, like in King of the Hill. You have to run forward or back, and I think a lot of teams just don't want to try that. But, you know, it's an option one day if you're having a lot of trouble, if you want to change the map up in an instant dramatically. Nonetheless, we look towards Tank again as Pains this time on the defense. What a great hard aim that is. Finds one, finds two, courtesy of his teammates' shots from behind. And now this should be a 2v1. If they can just push ahead, they have to be careful with that insend for the start, but Crimson's will get that back. A potential triple, actually. bar a little bit of a clutch from Strikers here. Has to go now, though. Crisis holding his shots, not connecting as he'd like. Strikers almost got the break, but rolled out a little bit too late there. Crisis holds on. One more 1v1 for the round as his team are winning on home hill. So much pressure, and he makes it work. Shot holding perfectly. No shots put his way. That's a big, big round from Maradona and Pele.
Huge round. They keep exchanging blows here, but Maradona and Pele are the ones hitting first. And that one would have stung if you're highly rated. Very, very well played. Are the Italians and Crim at this point, isn't it? Doing very, very well. You know, I was curious about communication with them. And whether it would hurt them, of course. But at this moment in time, doesn't seem to be a problem.
Yeah, I assumed they would be communicating in Italian, right? When they had Marco back in the team, all 4 Italian friends, right? But it has to change, right? Krim is not Italian. He does not speak Italian as far as I'm aware. So that surely has changed. But despite that, you know, there seems to be no issue in the communication area, right? Let's see. Great shot getting from Strikers over the top. Pains will lose that one. Crisis should fall as well. Not much cover for him to play with as he tries to get out of the back. Bates one, though. Almost picks up that kill on Cougars. Nonetheless, Strikers will save the day. Meanwhile, Maradona and Pele are pushing up heavily on the home hill. Insend over the top. It's perfect from Crimson. Straight on a Dragon's head. But the spawn is right there, as you know, Chris. So I'm not sure how long they'll be able to hold this. Retro might be of help. Oh.
Do it with the Retro. Not going to happen this time around, although Crimson's now going to put himself in a better spot to do something. Yeah, the rest of his team can't do a great deal. Now Crimson's, well, he's on fire and he's dead. Push forward coming through from highly rated now. Over towards the tank side, of course, looking to get D in their grasp. They already have F, and well, they momentarily were decapping over towards D. Now Maradona and Pele are going to have to stretch their legs over towards Z, where they do actually have men over. Pins here, decapping. Oh, that's going to come through, but highly rated on the way over here, Toby.
If he got that break in, oh, this is a risky play. This is such a risky play. Even if you try and get through, you can get angled from above you. If your team are not close, he's going to be punished very quickly as a result. Good down from Marsh. Crisis coming to try to save the day, but no. Dragons with the reinforcements and the double. Keeping this round as close as ever. I mean, just look at the score. It's still just neck and neck, back and forth between these two teams. And for highly rate, this is huge, right? 4-2 compared to a 3-3 is massive for the second map.
Bounces. Trying to get something going here. The points lead momentarily was with Maradona and Pele. That may well change in a second, though, as Strikers and Co. start to get going. I know their crown is on the line here. It's a good overextension going to be coming in from Crisis, though. What can he do? 1v2. Maybe something could be in the offing, but it looks like highly rated just going to play it smartly. Win condition will belong to them as well, and decap coming in at D from Marsh. That's well played. He will fall anyway, but still just allows that lead to extend even further. 30 seconds win condition. Danes is not going to be able to do much there against Dragons, although shot's going to come in from bounces. I may well have actually been a bolt hook there. Although actually it could be in the right. I don't know, he hit him with something hard nonetheless. Cougar's gonna go down. Oh, you've lingered too long inside the fire. Bounces needs to push over towards F. They need to stop these points going on the board for highly rated right now, but there's just so much damage, so much pressure coming in. Maradona and Pele. I don't think they're gonna find anything yet. Not quick enough. Just gonna stop back. Can't do much at 3-3. It's a curious time to be letting them know about it here. Cougars, you are
head games, mind games, yeah.
Head games.
I think so. But you know, 3 apiece. Like I said, huge round. Difference between 4-2 and 3-3 when you're on the verge of losing your 8-week streak is something else. For sure. And remember, folks, as well, Maradona were the team that won the first week of EGL split number 2, Open Series split number 2, and they're looking to end the streak of highly rated after what has been an extreme performance week in, week out from them. Let's see if they can retake the mantle.
Who's going to make the push? Crisis up, buddy. I'll be lingering around there, really. Very, very heavy push through E from highly rated. They do play Vanskar well. Fortunately, it feels like Maradona and Pele are falling into their traps a little bit here.
Yeah, seems like it. Pains, ooh, not an ideal location. He could get pushed here as Dragons tries to go wide in. Sen not going to connect, but it forces Pains out of cover nonetheless. Bounces tries to level out the numbers, but Dragons holds his shot. Well done.
Crisis needs to go big. Oh, he wasn't far away from doing so. Crimson's is going to get the kill, but not quick enough to pick up his teammate. Big fight going on over towards F as well. Pains trying to win this one out up against Marsh, and Marsh will deal with him again. Feels like highly rated are getting into this game just that little bit more.
Oh my goodness me.
Oh, he's going to fall, but he will take bounces with him. Dragons is there to follow as well.
Triple.
Domination, ticking in. Not quite there. Pains just about saves it. Look at the score difference. Maradona and Pele not in a good spot in this round.
No, not at all. I tell you what, if a triple cap can be gained at this point in time, it would be massive for these guys. If anyone can do it outside of highly rated, it would be them. That's for sure. E-Hill being capped up. That's Crisis lost, though, on the home street. And they'll look to just simply overextend to nullify this approach onto their own home hell. Pains.
Yeah. Can't do a lot. The problem is here, Toby, it's overextension over towards F from highly rated. They know they only need one. If you're Maradona and Pele, you have to be perfect. 13 seconds.
Oh my. Oh my.
Fight over towards F's huge. Fight over towards F is actually massive. Has he actually won that? Marsh has won it. It's a huge win over here. Can he continue to stay alive? He can't, but look at the score difference. Is this going to tick in? Not quite. The extension at E. Oh, you know what? Marsh has went absolutely massive for his squad. He's going to be locked in swarm condition of 9. I don't think they've got time to get there. That is huge on the veteran on the squad in Marsh. That's the fight over towards F. He doesn't stay alive for much longer, but he delays it long enough to allow the rest of his team to respawn. Massive gunfight. That's going to put highly rated 4-3 up.
Tell you what, Chris, some players in esports, they perform worse when adrenaline hits them at a really important moment like that, but some players play even better, and Marsh right there was just absolutely spot on. That timing of the overextension, the shots that he was hitting, the delays that he was causing, impeccable from him. And yeah, single-handedly that just saves the round when Maradona and Pele were literally flying around every single nook and cranny of Asgard there, behind him, in front. Well played from the veteran. 4-3 now, that is huge.
Ever since we've switched sides and we moved to D, E, and F, it really feels as if highly rated have had the number. The Maradona and Pele and Dragons has started to get going, and that's never a good sign for the other team. I'd be curious what map we'll be heading into for map number 3 if we do get there. It's looking like we will at this moment in time, but Maradona and Pele, win condition technically belongs to them right now, but I tell you what, not a great deal belongs to them right now. It's a big shot going to come through, though. F now can't be capped. Fight over towards D. That's when highly rated's way as well. The Dragons could do with winning this, and the domination may well take on through. Push over the top. Crimson's trying his best to stay alive. Needs to get inside the hill as best he can as well. D.
Wow.
There's a big fight going on there as well. But Crimson's wins this one over towards F. They need to win the fight at D also. But Crimson's just defending F as best as he can. Over towards D. Pinzico do force them away. One straggler left alone, and bouncers will deal with strikers. But Maradona and Pele survive, but they bleed a few points for it.
Excellent shotgun, and Crimson's will fall, though, on the home help. Pains and Bouncers are looking. See if there's any potential play here, and I don't think they've seen anything, so Crisis choosing to come back. Pains as well will follow him soon enough. And the reinforcements actually are here for Highly Rated. Look at Dragon just flying across that cover, knowing they can catch Pains out just about, getting him down before he gets around that corner, which is huge. It buys time for Highly Rated to get up the staircase with no setup waiting for them. Triple cap potential here to take us to map number 3.
And they're going to go in. The aggression just paying off for them. Pains and Co haven't been able to keep up recently, but can Pains do something here to get his team back into the round? Because Highly Rated have been really, really limiting the points that Maradona and Pele have been picking up. That should be a win condition over towards Maradona and Pele, though. Just about will be. Hog team win condition of 73 seconds. They got E, they've got D. There's a push over towards F going to come through here as well. So this round could swing one way or another very, very quickly. Crimson's Striker's going to be making the push over the side. Good shot's going to come in. Oh my goodness, Crimson's wins the fight over towards E. Now we go over towards F, and it's Pains over here. I tell you what, that stinks of a round number 9. My goodness me, Maradona, Pele. 2 huge, huge moments. Ring on through. Crimson's goes massive. Pains goes massive. And they send us to a round 9.
I tell you what, Chris, a 2-0 for Maradona and Pele today would be such an upset for Highly Rated. And it would be a stamp of their mark on the European scene. With just one little roster change, Crimson's joins this team. They can get a 2-0. If they can just win in general, honestly, at this point, it would be massive for the European region.
So Moxes went down. And, well, yeah, okay, they've just made it a bit more readily available. Highly Rated not wanting to change anything up. Maradona and Pele really not either. I mean, that Moxa will offer a little bit more pressure to the team who have control. That's it. Not much changing. Here we go. And around number 9, you're Highly Rated. You need it. You need it bad. Strikers is going to be the first to fall. Haynes is feeling it, as is Crimson's. Cougars in a bad spot now as well. These initials, oh, we say in a bad spot. Cougars has maybe just saved these team from being in a really bad spot now. You win this fight as well, I'll tell you what. I'm chasing this one. And Cougars has played this expertly. He may well fall here at the Pains, and yes, he will. And, well, I mean, Pains, I'm not sure if it's worth wasting the time, but if you feel like it, then okay. Well, you know, I still feel as if Cougars did a really good job there.
Yeah.
Slowed them down.
Bought so much time, forcing Pains all the way back and prevented any kind of overextension around the other way, the other direction of Vazgar's circuit around the exterior of the map. Dragons is lurking. Highly Rated are not done yet. He's going for a break here. His teammates to his right, they know someone's around here. They're looking around. They've done the math in their head again. They saw Pains earlier. Pains, there he goes. Great back, eh? Can't find the second shot. He needs strikers who'll hold right hand. Well played from him. Meanwhile, his teammate has won another fight here on the FL, but here comes the re-engagement. Crisis flies through, gets a second as well. Spot on from that individual. The FL regained Maradona and Pele. Keep that advantage they gained from the initial, and they have the points lead too.
50 seconds from taking away the win streak. Maradona and Pele are ready and waiting. Crimson's with the mark set over towards E. It has to be a push over towards F. There has to be some magic from Highly Rated here. Crisis and Co back on down. They're going to allow them to take up control of the site. F will go in their favor. They know the numbers are there. It's been won on the other side, though. Pains is going to take down Cougar, so all of a sudden it's a transition over towards D. Maradona and Pele on their way there, but Bouncers has been left all alone here. I don't know if I love this call from Maradona and Pele. I'm not sure if I do.
Crisis lurking.
No.
And he's going to get back to the FL. Yeah. Potential. I mean, is anyone going to get a hill? There we go. They're lurking around the E hill. FL has been capped. They do have to get into a hill, though. 10 seconds to go.
That's
and
game.
The scoreline is built up.
That's got to be game. Marsh. No man's land is where he is. And Maradona and Pele are in complete control. It's a round number 9. It's a 2-0 for Maradona and Pele against Highly Rated in the grand finals. The win streak is over.
What more can you say? Not only did the streak end, but boy, did it end in strong fashion for this brand new team of Maradona and Pele. 25 kills Crimson, 24 kills Pains, leading the way at the helm. Crimson's finished with the most kills in both maps as the new pickup, the star pickup. That player has earned his spot, and that team is the new team to look out for. Just that one roster change, Chris. They've gone from losing every single week to this team, typically 0-2, by the way, to instantly just getting a 2-0 series like that. Absolutely blown away. My goodness me. Cannot believe it.
Time to come. What a better time to come. There will be no better time for this sort of result to come with the final week of the Open Series coming up next week. But let's have a look at the bracket to see how Maradona and Pele have done it. The last time a squad with these players won was week number 1, all the way back. And now they've just done it in week number 9 as well to set ourselves up for a very, very interesting end towards split number 2. But highly rated made it through in the usual fashion quite cleanly. But even in the semi-final, it has to be said, Team XENEX really did push them when we didn't really expect them to do so. So highly rated, maybe you could say not performing at the best tonight, but I mean, let's not take anything away at all from Maradona and Pele. The addition of Crimsons has really made a difference, it seems. The round of 16 all the way through against Academy United in the quarters, and then a tough game against 1-2-3, you would have thought, but Maradona and Pele swarmed through that one. And then not just a win over highly rated, 2-0. It's 5-3 on map number 1, 5-4 on Vazgar. That's a massive, massive win for this mostly Italian squad with Crimsons on board. And Crimsons seemingly, we said he would make the addition in terms of experience, in terms of maybe a little bit of leadership, but he's also brought the slaying game to the table as well, specifically in round number 8, where he makes that big, big double kill over towards E. That was the swinging point of the round, which forced that round number 9 as well, Toby.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. And you're right, just to bring up that point again, Team XENEX looked really good, actually, in the semi-final. Yeah. I think it was really them. I think that was the main component. They were just doing super well on Harbor. But yeah, you'd expect that it would be the other way, right? At least that they'd give them a bit more of a challenge on that first half, right? Highly rated. But no, it wasn't to be. And perhaps they weren't playing at their best today. Perhaps they weren't, right where they wanted to be, as they typically are every single week. But I think today is the storyline of Maradona and Pele. Like, Crimsons has just 100%. Come in and completely changed the European scene in an instant, right? And we heard about this rumor for a while, right? There's been a few weeks that we knew that Crim was kind of scrimming here and there with the Italians, and there was a little bit of a roster change, of course. But it was about 2 weeks ago, right, that Marco left the team, and a player needed to fill that spot. And clearly, Crim was the first man to consider, hey, hopping over and seeing what can happen on that team. And it matters a lot, because that's the HPJC roster as we knew it, just gone. I think that's the nail in the coffin as we knew it, right? Crim has left that team. Before, it was Crazed, right? When they went from 5 down to 4, it was Crazed who left that team. Now it's Crim who's left that roster, who's looked elsewhere for a team that's practicing a lot more. They are on different ends of the spectrum, it seems like, by the way. The Italians play every single day. They have so much confidence. Their shotguns are on point. HPJC are not practicing like they once were back in the Elevate days of Pro League, right? I think Krim has made an excellent decision in that sense. He's gone from the less motivated team to the more motivated team, and he's going to be extremely happy with this result. The 2-0 result this week, the performance is going to make sure he stays in that roster, and it's going to make sure that HPJC is in a little bit of limbo now as they choose, hey, who are we going to play with? What's the team going to be going forward? I'm not sure if the team we saw today from Team 1-2-3 is going to be is a permanent roster. Maybe it's just a roster put together for the Sunday tournament. We don't know. I guess we'll have to speak to them, I guess, at some point and find out what's on their mind. But yeah, I mean, moral of the story, at the end of the day, long story short, this is the new team to look out for, and you said it best. It's coming a perfect opportunity and a perfect moment in this split. Can't wait for next week and the finals following.
It really, really has. Once again, thank you to everybody for hanging out in the chat. This one was a very, very good one. And of course, to yourself, Toby, thanks again, even through the bus chair jokes. You still soldier on through my bullying. I do apologize. Nonetheless, though, once again, thank you very much for joining us. And as said, everybody at home, thank you. for joining us as well. One more week of the Open Series. Normal weeks to go on a Sunday. Get yourselves involved if you want those EGLRP. It helps you in the seeding. It helps us seed the bracket as well if you guys do have some of that EGLRP. So please make sure you do get involved if you are intending on being involved in the finals, which is coming up in a couple of weeks' time. And as I said, it set us up very, very nicely for that final tournament. Before we head into towards those finals, we'll be back, same place, same time next week. See you then.